Showers have come through this morning here at Jimmy John's Field. The tarp's off the field, and we're ready for some Sunday afternoon baseball. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the USPBL Network. I'm Brady Beaton here by myself today, and we're going to have a fun game for you between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Before we get too much into today's matchup, want to go back and just go over the weekend at large. Friday, a bit of an odd day. We got through 8 innings of this matchup we'll see today. The Diamond Hoppers had a 12-7 lead before the game was suspended. It will be back at some point, so the game not official as of yet, despite being through 8 innings and a 5-run lead for the Diamond Hoppers. Looking like the East Side going to add another win to their resume, off to a hot start right now. They're 4-2 on the season. Beavers, they need to build a little momentum. They haven't been playing awful baseball, just haven't been able to get some of those clutch moments and secure the victory. They are 1-4 right now on the season. They are struggling to just put consecutive wins together, and this Sunday, an opportunity to close the chapter on one part of the season where you're starting to get into the rhythm, get out of spring training, get the feel for it, and start to get into the thick of the regular season. Going to have a new face with the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Matthew Pietrowski coming in from Cal State LA, a Lancaster, Pennsylvania native. The last 2 years at Cal State LA absolutely raked. His junior year nearly hit 400, over 10 home runs. Last year, not quite as good as his junior year this season actually, but still had a very solid year. 350 at the plate, had 5 home runs, and looking to give a little jump start to a Birmingham Bloomfield lineup that has had some guys up top, Hilbrick and Ortega especially, starting to hit the ball a little bit. But in this league, the USPBL, that's so traditionally dominated by pitchers, every little bit of offense can help. We'll see him at third base. We'll take a look at the rest of the Birmingham Bloomfield lineup later on in the pregame. But getting ready for this overcast, showery Sunday. Might have some rain coming in later in the day. Both sides trying to, well, as I mentioned, one trying to change the page, trying to flip the momentum in the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers trying to continue it, keep their winning ways going, and build up a lead early in the regular season. We'll take a quick break, come back, we'll talk more about the game we'll see today here on the USPBL Network.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Here on the USPBL Network, Brady Beaton here at Jimmy John's Field, getting ready for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Let's take a closer look at what we can see today. I mentioned before the break how the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, they've really been slugging the ball. You look at names like Van Diver, Marcoux, Shire, they've all been raking. You look at the league leaderboards and up and down the hitting categories, especially, I know it's early, but you see a lot of EDH, Eastside Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Talking to Coach Ryan Cockey before the game, talking about how it's just really hard to make out a lineup. You'll have guys that are slotting into the 6-7 spots that really could be hitting in the middle or top of the order, trying to find that offensive punch. Again, a few Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers that I mentioned before the break, Christian Ortega, Ray Hilbrick, guys that have been hitting a little bit for the Beavers. One man that has been hitting gets his first day off, Max McClennan, not in the starting lineup, but don't put it by Diesel, the manager for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, to give him a shot in a pinch hit role. Likes to move his pieces around as the game goes on. Again, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be overcast, maybe a little sprinkles throughout the day, but we'll have baseball here for you on the USPBL Network. It's going to be Pierce Banks for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and Julian Pichardo for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. We'll take a break. We'll come back with pitcher comparisons and more here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here on a Sunday at Jimmy John's Field for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers taking on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. It's Princess Day here for Sunday afternoon baseball as we get ready to conclude another weekend of fun baseball here in downtown Utica. But before we get too far into it, let's take a look at those who make this broadcast possible. Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Corwell Health, Dave & Buster's, DTE, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom Audio Video Solutions, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Pepsi, and United Wholesale Mortgage. Brady Beaton here, and we're going to have a sliding door of guys coming in and out of the booth with me. Some of our interns coming up, getting a chance to be on the air today. We'll start, so we'll have 3 different innings. The first 3 innings will be Carter Lutz, then the middle third will be RJ Carroll, and we'll close it out with Cooper Schoenberg. So Carter, he's up here with me to start. Thank you for filling in on a bit of short notice.
Good to be here, Brady.
Good to be here, Brady, and thank you for having me here at Jimmy John's Field. We've been working the past 2-3 weeks in and out of the ballpark, and with today, you know, we're going to get to the weather report shortly, but we got a few cloudy skies. Still can't take away from the magic of the USPBL, but we're excited to be in the booth today and give you guys a look into the game.
Absolutely. There you see the current weather here in downtown Utica. Temperatures just a tick above 70 degrees, not very windy, bit muggy, but the rainstorms have, I don't even want to call them storms, the showers have come through. It was raining when we arrived here in the morning. After both sides got their warm-ups in, we had about a 15-minute shower, but it looks like all the fans that have made the trek out for Princess Day will stay dry. Real quick before we send it to a break, I want to take a look at the pitcher comparison for today's matchup. You look at Pierce Banks and Julian Pichardo, 2 of the better pitchers so far in the league. Pichardo in 9 2/3 inning, a 1-1 record, but early in the season, those numbers can lie a little bit. It really is about that 0.2 and the 9.2 that has inflated a lot of the stats. But Carter, the number that jumps out for both of these is the Pichardo batting average against of 152.
Yeah, Banks for that matter with the 152.
Banks, yes, excuse me.
Yeah, he's been somewhat automatic here, and for the USPBL, pitching is going to be major. You compare it to a guy in Picardo who's a solid pitcher. He's at a 3.38 ERA, a little bit better than Banks, but with that batting average against at 281, it's just a different level of playing field at that point. So Banks, he's really applied pressure here early. He can, you know, get into games, and sitting at, as you mentioned, the 152 batting average against, it's going to be really tough to go against him. He usually works with that changeup and four-seam fastball, but can also, you know, get those outside pitches going with the curveball and slider. So it should be interesting to see how he faces up against another solid pitcher in Picardo.
Well, we will step aside as we head out for the players here, at least wait for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and first pitch here on the USPBL Network. Back here on the USPBL Network, Eastside Diamond Hoppers, Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers getting ready for this one. And the Diamond Hoppers have had a little more success in this early part of the season. They're 4-2. There's a suspended game from Friday that was against the Beavers that was, again, suspended. Score was 12-7 in the 8th, or after 8 rather. So it looks like the Diamond Hoppers are going to, in all likelihood, improve to 5-2, or at least get the extra win when that game is resumed. Right now, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers struggling a little bit at 1-4, trying to get that extra boost here early on in the USPBL season.
Yeah, when you're talking about the Beavers and the short success that they've had early in this season, it's got to start with the pitching. Their pitching kind of gets them going, and the batting, it hasn't been consistent enough. You have guys like Hilbrich in the lineup, Petrovsky. They can get hits, they can get on base, but that bottom of the lineup, it's shown its struggles, and you got to get hits to get runs. So when those runs aren't threatening for the Beavers, they lean on their pitching, and they beat the Diamond Hoppers earlier in this season. It was a low-scoring matchup. That's one of the 3 games that these teams have played this season, the 1 win for the Beavers. So it's got to start with the pitching, and in his second start of the season, Picardo is one of the better pitchers on this Beaver squad. Well,
they're going to hope to get some length out of Picardo as he, well, it's the last game of the week. Usually this is when the pitching is at a premium, where you've already used up a lot of guys in the bullpen. You might not have necessarily the abundance of arms in the bullpen to go to. We will step aside one more time, and next time when we come back, I promise you we'll have starting lineups and first pitch here on the USPBL Network.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off
Make
20?
your move.
How they pulling it off?
With a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union.
No clue.
It's just genius.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
We build,
Roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers, our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Back here on the USPBL Network, Brady Beaton alongside Carter Lutz as we take a look at the visiting Eastside Diamond Hoppers starting 9. Leading off the second baseman, Blake Van Diver. He's had a very hot start to the season, as have many of these Diamond Hopper batters. One of the best names in the USPBL bats second, the center fielder, Zeb Roos. Noah Marcoux, the DH, batting third. Matt Gorig is at first base, batting fourth. Batting fifth, out in left field, Ben Ferguson. Out and right, batting sixth, Bryant Schellenbarger. The shortstop, batting seventh, Jake Shire. Batting eighth, the catcher, Luke Stevenson. And rounding out the Eastside Diamond Hopper lineup, the third baseman, Todd Maddox. Again, they will face the right arm of Julian Pichardo as he is looking to continue his dominant ways in just over 8 innings of work. He's only given up the 3 earned runs, and John Diesel Dombrowski, the manager for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, is going to lean on him to get a little bit of length out of him, hopefully go 5, 6, maybe 7 innings if he's working quickly, but this is going to be a tough Diamond Hopper lineup to navigate.
Yeah, really talented top to bottom as well, and the Beavers, they're familiar with this talented team. 19 runs put up against the Beavers earlier this season. The run differential between these two teams in their first 3 games against each other, 23-3 in favor of the Hoppers. So they can apply pressure early. They're going to have a little bit of a tougher matchup today with Picardo, but you got guys at the top of the order, including Zeb Roos, you know, 3rd in the league in batting average. You have the league leader in hits, in batting average, in Marcoux, who's batting at the 3 spot. And, you know, can't forget to mention Blake Van Diver leading the league in runs. So they get on the board early and often. They'll be tough to stop. Should be interesting to see how Picardo, you know, attacks this lineup from the mound.
Now, stats, especially in baseball, sample size is everything. And baseball, it's, I mean, even halfway through the season, you feel like you don't have a big enough sample size to truly dive in to what everyone's doing. And that, you mentioned that 19-0 affair in a non-public game earlier in the season. That's going to skew a lot of stats for both the Diamond Hoppers and the Beavers.
For sure, and you have a game that's 19-0. You also have a game that's 2-1 in favor of the Beavers. So baseball can go either way, especially in a league like this. You know, you're constantly playing these 4 teams against each other, and you can't say anything can happen, but there's a lot of different, you know, factors that play into it. You have 2 solid pitchers on the mound today. You can't expect a 19-0 game like we saw, and it's going to vary week to week. Here, the Beavers have a chance, you know, not too much of a weather factor, not too much of other factors going on. It's just them and the baseball, and today they got a chance to take down one of the better teams in the league, but they got a tough matchup, especially also going against Banks on the other side of the bump.
Some of our friends with the USPBL reading program still making their way off the diamond. Plenty of those young fans earn their way to a free ticket by completing the reading program. Had a couple different choirs here today to sing God Bless America and the national anthem. Had Grosse Pointe Little League out here as well. It's been a busy Sunday, and you see everyone who was on the field, because there was probably a couple hundred people on the field celebrating or being celebrated before the first pitch, and now they're finally making their way into the grandstands, and they're filling up.
Yeah, filling up the stadium, and if we didn't have some clouds here today, we probably would have had an even bigger crowd, but can't complain. Still a great weekend for the USPBL. Doubleheader yesterday between the Unicorns and Mammoths. Today, another solid matchup. The rain's holding out, and excited to get this thing going.
Blake Van Diver gets us started. Second baseman today, facing Picardo. First pitch, swing and a foul ball. 107 first pitch, and we are officially underway here from Jimmy John's Field. Picardo works from the stretch at all times. Leg kick delivers, keeps it simple. Taking it back up the middle, Van Diver to center field. It hops in front of Perez. And while the hot bats for the Diamond Hoppers don't waste any time, second pitch of the game and a base knock for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from Van Diver right up the middle, and we didn't touch upon it too much in the pregame, but on the mound, Picardo usually works that four-seam fastball or the curveball and maybe kind of throws in that changeup, but there, the fastball down the plate, Van Diver took it up the middle.
Let's take a quick look at the three-dimensional services group defensive alignment. Bolin, Perez, and Hilbrick out in the outfield. Left to right on the infield, Pietrowski, Wilcoxon, Schubert, Ortega, and you have Torres behind the dish, and Picardo is at the plate. So that's the alignment for the Beavers. As the next pitch from Ruse is chopped foul down that left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff man Van Diver over at first. Picardo settling in. Again, working from the stretch, the one benefit of that is you don't really have to change anything up when you do allow a base runner. Throw over to first, back in with the head first slide. See there, Van Diver. He can swipe a bag. He's stolen 5 already this season. He has a big lead. Picardo holding. Slide step delivery. Missed upstairs. Ooh, called strike. And probably about as high as you're going to see a strike call today.
You can tell Picardo is worried over at first base. And Perez also senses it as well. Or Van Diver, I should say.
Another slide step delivery taken back up the middle. Perez on his horse. He won't get there. 2 base hits. That one gets by Perez. That'll allow everyone to scoot up 90 feet. 2 batters in, and there's 2 runners in scoring position for the Diamond Hoppers.
And a heads-up play there from Van Diver. He looked back at second as he was somewhat rounding it and saw in center field the play was mishandled by Perez. Got over to third. It's going to be a double for Roos. And he continues his hot start early here in the top of the first inning.
I think the speed of Van Diver, that was in the head of Perez a little bit, trying to make sure he got that ball in quick, that he wasn't going to try to scoot up to third.
Well, the pitch comes in now. I think he was just looking at Van Diver all the way. And as soon as he took off for 3, he was on his way to second, and they were worried about the runner going to third. So he's into second very safely.
Not the spot you want to be in if you're Julian Picardo. 2 on, nobody out, Noah Marcoux at the plate. The 0-1 pitch misses away, 1-1. Marcoux, early in the season, but he's hitting 500. You're never going to complain about that, whether you're 1 for 2 or 9 for 18 like Marcoux is. Doesn't need a base hit to drive in a run. Fastball low and in, clocks in at about 87 miles an hour. Behind in the count, 2-1.
And how about 9 hits and 9 walks? Talk about plate discipline. Also batting 500. He's done all that's been asked of him early in the season.
Next pitch misses in the dirt, gets by Torres. Van Diver scoots in, and it's 1-0 Diamond Hoppers here in the top of the first.
There's the curveball he likes to go back and forth with between the 4-seam and the curveball. That one just got a little wild. And just like that, no outs, runner on third, and they're up 1-0.
So Marcoux can still drive in a run, still an RBI opportunity, a 3-1 count. You're sitting dead red here. A 3-1. Misses outside, and there's the plate discipline you were talking about. Works the walk. First 3 batters aboard for the Diamond Hoppers. Runners on the corner, nobody out. 1 run already in to score. And Matt Gehrig coming up to the plate.
With Pichardo, he has good numbers this season. Still only his second start of the year, so he's struggling a little bit early in the top of the first year. Might take him some time to get settled in.
First pitch, wave and a miss. Start him with the off speed.
Yeah, that was a pretty looking pitch there. Now he can kind of settle in here. His first time ahead of an account.
Gehrig, 2 bombs, ties him for the lead early on. And the USPBL is usually pitcher-led. The 0-1 misses away, 1-1. He's found the stroke early. 8 RBIs already on just 5 hits. That's pretty efficient. That means the guys in front of him are getting on base and putting him in a spot to drive him in. 1-1. Misses away, 2-1.
And you mentioned the guys getting on base. They're all batting 450, right. 400. The numbers don't lie there.
Makes his job easy out of the cleanup spot.
For sure.
Again, don't need a base hit with a runner on third and nobody out. Next pitch, fastball, rung too high up the ladder. 3-1. In danger of walking his second straight batter. It's gone single, single, walk. 3-1. Fastball belt high over the plate. Count runs full to Gehrig.
You gotta have a feeling Gehrig's gonna pick his pitch here. If he sees it, he's going. If not, let it go by.
Pichardo would love the double play ball. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Overpowered him with a fastball high and in. That's a big out number 1 for the Beavers.
Another good-looking pitch there from Pichardo. Gets him inside, and on that fastball, it's 3-2. You got to protect the plate. And if he sees a fastball, he's going to swing. He gets it inside and high to where he can't make contact. Gets his first strikeout of the day.
Double play could neutralize a lot of the damage here for the Beavers. Ben Ferguson to the plate. Watch a strike 1 go by. Middle infield and double play depth. Ferguson, he's another batter that's been, well, he's been hitting pretty well. Over 300 early in the season, 6 ribbies to his name. Pichardo holds. Long hold, finally delivers. Wave and a miss, 0-2. And well, he's starting to knuckle down at the right time.
He was looking for his 7th RBI there. Ferguson, big cut. And now down early in the count.
Runners on the corners, 1 away, 0-2 to Ferguson. Throw to first, back in sliding, Marcoux. Have the pickoff rules that you see in the MLB. You can only attempt twice. On the third one, you have to record an out, otherwise it constitutes a balk. Charo holds the pitch, swing and a chopper, foul. Stays alive, but working ahead in the count, that's huge for any pitcher.
100%, especially when you got runners on the corners and you failed to retire those first 4 batters. Settling in is key here, especially for a guy only in his 2nd start.
The 0-2 misses up high. Couldn't get the fastball where you want to. Top the letters, maybe trying to challenge Ferguson. Similar pitch that punched out Gehrig. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners, only 1 away. Pichardo holds the pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back punch-outs. And this inning looks like it's back on the rails for the Beavers. Again, started off single and an error. A walk for the Diamond Hoppers. A wild pitch scored the only run so far. It was 3-1 to Gehrig. Battles back, gets the punch out, strikes out Ferguson, and now it's up to Bryant Schellenbarger to try and find a base knock to add another run for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Watch a strike 1 go by, 0-1.
And how big would it be if they can just find a way to get out of this inning? No pictures on the baseball scorecard, and struggles with those first 3 batters. They only give up 1 run. That's a win for the Beavers.
Absolutely, and it would be a little deflating as Schellenbarger tattoos one into right center, and a heck of a catch by Perez. He went down to the knee, and the defense picks up Pichardo after the first 3 Diamond Hoppers get aboard, a pair of strikeouts, and Perez, flashing the leather out in right center, gets the Beavers out of the frame. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers. We head to the bottom of the first here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Back here on the USPBL Network, bottom of the first, 1-0 Diamond Hoppers. Beavers will come to the plate, already chasing a run. Let's take a quick look at their lineup. Leading off the center fielder, Brandon Perez. You saw him flash the leather out in right center to end the top of the first. The newest Beaver, Matt Piotrowski, over at third. He bats second. Batting third, the right fielder, Ray Hilbrick. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Christian Ortega. Malik Bolin batting fifth out and left. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, E.J. Doskow. Batting seventh, the catcher, Ray Torres the fourth. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Peyton Schubert. And rounding out the lineup, the fleet-footed shortstop for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, Ben Wilcoxon. Brady Beaton alongside Carter Lutz. Is the Diamond Hoppers already pushed across the run, but you mentioned it before the break. The way that inning started, it ultimately felt like a win for the Beavers.
Oh, no doubt about that, especially for their leadoff hitter in Perez. 2 tough plays in center field, able to bounce back, make that big catch. But if you're watching that first inning, you would think that the Hoppers are going to continue to climb onto that lead. Instead, only 1 run, 2 stranded, and the Beavers are in a solid spot right here in the bottom of the first.
Problem for them is they're facing the right arm of Pierce Banks, who has been very solid. Again, we talked about it in the pregame, that batting average against around the 150 mark. First couple of pitches to Perez misses 2-0, but no one's really hitting him hard. The walks are what hurt Banks early in the season.
And as Perez awaits the 2-0, he usually goes changeup four-seam, but also can work in the curveball and slider. Sometimes has batters guessing up there with that off-speed stuff. He went 68 that last pitch, so it can be difficult to navigate that.
There's the changeup again, a wave and a miss. He almost uses the changeup to set up the four-seam fastball. I mean, it's almost between those two, about a 50-50 split. What's going to happen, as you mentioned, can throw in the curveball or the slider later. Behind in the count, 3-1. And when you have a guy that throws both the changeup and a four-seam almost at the same rate, in a spot like this, you can't really sit on one pitch. Fastball called, striking Perez. He was ready to toss the bat and head down to first. You have to wait for another pitch.
Can't blame him.
Pitcher's pitch to be sure. 3-2. Swing and a foul off the top of the screen.
And I think today what's going to be key for the Beavers is these first 3 hitters, and Perez, Piotrowski, and Hilbrich, because they're where this team thrives. And if they can get on early, challenge Banks, as in they're fouled behind home plate. If they can challenge him early, the rest of the guys can feed off of that, and maybe Pichardo can keep the runs low for the Hoppers. But starts with Perez.
Rain starting to sprinkle down here at Jimmy John's Field. Perez overmatched with a pitch up high. Took something off that one. That was a high off speed. Not usually where you're expecting that pitch, but it gets the result all the same for Banks. 1 up, 1 down via the punch out.
And it worked. I mean, Perez was pretty early on that, also chasing away as we get a little bit of a drizzle here in the infield, but Banks, you see why he's one of the top pitchers in this league as he works the next batter.
First pitch fastball, 91. Now, if you're a pitcher or a batter going into the box, you have to be ready for the what? The one changeup was at about 68 or a 91 mile per hour fastball. Now, I'm not a math major, but that's almost a 25 mile per hour difference. Good luck.
Oh, I mean, you could feel the pop into the catcher's mitt on that one compared to the other pitches just kind of working their way into the strike zone. That one, he's right down Main Street, 91.
1-1 handle shot back off the top of the screen.
And there's 92. So, as I said, you got to sometimes guess against Banks. You got a solid hitter in Petrosky up now.
And I think that goes into the point of the art of pitching where, hey, you can be a pitcher or some guys just throw, but being able to set up other pitches with certain ones, that's what separates pitchers from each other. Is you see the fans that have made the trek out here trying to stay dry, put those raincoats on. Rain was not supposed to come back. It didn't care. The 1-2 smoked foul. Oh, my goodness. That was about a 380-foot strike.
We talked about him a little bit. He played some solid college ball, and now he finds himself the USPBL. Let's see what he can do.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Dots that low outside corner. Back-to-back Ks. One looking, one swinging, and it brings up Ray Hilbrick.
And you mentioned how these pitches, they kind of fall into the art of pitching. And it's so fun to watch certain guys, especially someone like this who can take it to 68 miles per hour, ring them up at 92.
Let's take a look at the three-dimensional services defensive lineup for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Ferguson, Ruse, Schellenbarger in the outfield. You have Maddox, Shire, Van Diver, and Gehrig. As a single dropped in by Hilbrick. First pitch, swinging, takes the fastball back up the middle. No 1-2-3 inning for Banks, but Hilbrick will need to get a new bat next time.
Yeah, broke his bat on that one, and it was off the fastball. He was ready for it. You know, if he saw that off speed, you got to think he's going to let it go by on the first pitch, but being prepared for that fastball, seeing that last at bat, and they get a runner on here with 2 out in the bottom of the first.
Well, and especially with the speed difference between the changeup and the fastball, you have to sit fastball and adjust. If you're waiting for a pitch in the low 70s and 92 comes at you, as Ortega goes the other way, it drops in, going around second, heading to third. Hilbrick, the throw is well off the base, moving up behind the play. Ortega heads up play to put 2 runners in scoring position, back-to-back singles. And there's runners on second and third. And Carter, this inning looked like it was going to be pretty nondescript. Not a whole lot to worry about. And a broken bat single and almost a handle shot out to right center. And now the Beavers are a base hit away from taking the lead here in the first.
Yeah, I don't love the decision there from the right fielder, Schellenbarger. There's 2 out. You can hold the runner on third, keep him at first. Instead, a base hit could score 2.
Yeah.
And that's huge here, especially for Banks, who's just trying to get out of this first inning where he looks really solid in those first 2 at-bats.
Bolin takes a fastball in on the hands, caught the plate for strike 1. And even a perfect throw, it'd have to be right on the money for it to be a bang-bang play.
Yep.
The 0-1. Swing and a fly ball right field. Schellenbarger, he has it in his eyes and he brings it in for out number 3. So a couple of 2-out hits do not come to pass. A couple of strikeouts for Pierce Banks, and we head to the second inning. Eastside Diamond Hoppers 1, Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers 0. You're watching the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Top of the second here at Jimmy John's Field. That short sprinkle we had in the bottom half of the first has since left us. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers. They send up the bottom third of the order. Jake Shear, Luke Stevenson, Todd Maddox. As Julian Pichardo hoping for a much quieter second inning than he had the first. I will say it was the tale of three batters. The first three looked very human, very hittable. Last three, he looked like the guy we were expecting to see today.
Yeah, he buckled down and was able to get out of that inning. Only giving up one run, we mentioned it, huge, and you expected the Hoppers to kind of add on to that lead after those first three hitters. But Picardo looks a lot more settled in and has the bottom of the order to work with here, hoping to have a much quicker inning in the second.
1-0 Eastside over the Beavers. First pitch swinging for Shire. Couple hops to the glove. Piotrowski throws across the diamond. One pitch, one away. And, well, you can't ask for a better start to an inning than that.
Not at all. Especially for a guy who saw a fair amount of pitches in that first. The quicker the better for Picardo. And one up, one down.
Brings up Luke Stevenson. Has a lot of pop in the bat. Hitting a little more for average this year in his limited at-bats so far. First pitch, fastball, called strike, inner part of the plate. Stevenson can, well, turn a mistake and turn it into a souvenir. The 0-1. Swing and a pop-up. Way underneath that one. Wilcoxon ranges to his right, drifts back to the outfield, and in 3 pitches, Picardo has 2 outs. He's picked up right where he left off in the first.
Yep, and we know this Hoppers lineup isn't as strong at the bottom as it is at the top, like it is with most ball clubs, but gotta get confidence as a pitcher in these kind of games, in these kind of situations. And what did we say before the inning? Wants to work through it quickly. He's working as quick as he can.
4th pitch of the inning to the third batter, taken for ball 1. Took something off that one at 79. But Maddox, even when your 9-hole hitter is putting up an average over 280, you know you're living right if you're Ryan Cockey and the Diamond Hoppers. Next pitch in that same exact spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you get those opportunities with a solid batting average hitter at the bottom of the lineup. Kind of a double leadoff situation from 9 back to 1.
2-0, foul tipped into the mid of Torres. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 away. 1-0 Hoppers. We're in the top of the second here on Princess Day here at Jimmy John's Field. The 2-1. Swing and a fly ball well out of play. That one's heading for the road. Look out to the couple of trucks driving by. Count evens up at 2-2. Maddox waits. Cardo looks in. Gets the sign. Kicks and deals. Half-hearted hack and just got it off the end of the bat. Stays alive. Don't know if he saw it well out of the hand. A defensive swing, and all he could do was spoil that pitch.
Yeah, Maddox here in the situation. You got to think that Picardo's going outside as he's just trying to find a way to stay in the at-bat. He's fouled off a few now.
2-2. Swing and a shot to right center field. Coming over Hilbrick. He makes the catch on the run. Takes away extra bases from Maddox. A perfect route from Ray Hilbrick. And the Beavers go down in order 1, 2, 3. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL network.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Bottom of the second inning here at the on the USPBL network. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers. And fans, when it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Pierce Banks looked like he was going to cruise through that first inning, gave up a couple of 2-out singles, and then eventually got Bolin to fly out. It was almost the inverse of what we saw from the Diamond Hoppers batting in the first, where they got off to the hot start and then petered out towards the end.
Yeah, you kind of had the sense throughout the whole inning that they're going to be able to get through that one, and they did. A really, really nice play from Hilbrick and right, and he perfectly, tracked it down, had the perfect angle, got the out.
If he takes one false step or even just a moment to try and calibrate himself, he doesn't make that play.
Yep.
And that's a double. And where he hit that, this field is not very conducive to triples. It either has to be right in the right field corner or out to right center, the deepest part to the right of the American flag out there. And that's where that ball was heading if he doesn't make that play. Heck of a job by Hilbrick as Daskow takes a swing and a miss at a fastball at 90 miles per hour to get the bottom of the second started. Banks on the extreme first base side of the rubber, kicks and deals. Breaking ball can't drop in. 1-1.
Should be interesting to see how Banks mixes up his arsenal of pitches compared to how he did last inning. Started off slow.
1-1 fouled straight back. If there wasn't a net, I think it was coming right into the booth.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Banks fan 2 in the first inning and works ahead in the count to Daskow here in the second. Banks set the kick and deal. Wave and a miss, pulled the string on him. Third punch out of the day. We start the second the same way we started off the first, with a swinging strikeout.
And Banks just looks confident right now, settled in, pitching with a purpose in a way. And he knows his location, he knows his speed. Has it going right now. And now faces a tough part of this Beavers lineup where they just haven't really gotten much going this year.
First pitch to Ray Torres, misses high and in, ball 1. Banks, he works with a purpose. The pitch clock need not apply to him. Takes about 7-8 seconds between pitches. And as a batter, you have to think about the game within the game. Maybe just try to get him off the rhythm, because he looks in, comes set, lifts the leg, and delivers. Jam shot foul.
That fastball, that thing works quickly. And those last 2 pitches, you see Torres behind. Got to be careful going against a guy like this. And he's down. It's a 1-2 count. Be interesting to see if he continues the fastball. Does not.
Looked like maybe the slider away.
Yeah.
I like the idea, though. You went a fastball in. It was a jam shot foul. So try to go slider away, and here on 2-2, it's really anyone's guess what Bank's going to come back with. The offering. Fastball fouled straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torres, he's battling at the plate. Banks looks in, gets the sign. Delivers. Swing and a lazy fly ball center field. Ruse ranges to his left, brings it in for out number 2, a strikeout and a flyout. And the first 2 batters are retired here in the Beaver half of the second. Brings up the second baseman, Peyton Schubert, is JJ getting some work in. Always the loudest cheer of the day.
Love that.
Don't care how popular any player is. It's nothing personal. JJ's always going to get the biggest round of applause of the day. First pitch swinging rather out to right field, and Schubert retired on 1 pitch as Schellenbarger brings it in to end the second inning. Beavers do not threaten in the second inning. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers. We head to the third here on the USPBL Network.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Back here, Jimmy John's Field, 1-0 Eastside Diamond Hoppers leading the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in the top of the third. It will be the top of the order due up for the Diamond Hoppers as Julian Picardo has settled in very nicely after a shaky start of the game.
Both pitchers really settled in here after some good starts, and just waiting to see how the batters can attack them. We got the top of the order, though, here. And this top of the Hoppers order is dangerous.
It's the part of the order that hurt Picardo the first time up. First pitch missed, ball 1. Van Diver, Ruse, and Marcoux went single walk. Van Diver scored the game's only run, and that was actually on a wild pitch. 1-0. Called strike. Off speed on the outer part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Van Diver added on another run scored. He's leading the league with runs scored. He's up to 10 now in the season.
Again, he gets on base a lot, and the guys behind him hit a lot. It's a recipe for success. Next ball fouled in play, but no chance for anyone to get there in the cavernous foul territory of Jimmy John's Field.
I think we see some princesses up in the Chevy Pavilion as well behind them.
Oh yeah, it's Princess Day. They've been out in full force today. The 1-2 swing and a ground ball up the middle. Wilcoxon ranges to his glove side, picks it up, and the speedy Van Diver retired on a ground out, and that's now 7 straight Diamond Hoppers retired after the first 3 batters of the game reached base safely.
Talk about settled in. He looks like a completely new pitcher right now and attacking the top of the order as we get the princesses on the screen. Gotta love it. Nothing like.
They've been out shaking hands everywhere, taking pictures with all the fans that came out that have braved the short rain we've dealt with. Zeb Roos swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1. Nobody on, one away. 1-0 Eastside Diamond Hoppers here in the top of the third. Brady Beaton alongside Carter Lutz. Carter, one of our interns here. We'll have 3 different interns joining me in the booth for each third of the game. But Carter, tell the people at home a little bit about where you go to school and how you ended up here at the USPBL as an intern and obviously an interest in broadcasting, I'm assuming.
Yeah, as Picardo, next pitch in there, strike 2, but go to the University of Miami in Florida, in Coral Gables, and myself alongside my other interns, RJ Carroll and Cooper Schoenberg. We're here for the summer. We're going to get some content creation going, maybe be in the booth as we are today, just having fun. Jimmy John's Field, gotta love it all summer long. It's gonna be a good time, and we'll be here.
1-2, ripped down the line, fair. Ruse racing around first. That's extra bases as it heads into the corner, and he will jog into second with a 1-out double. So a single and a double for Ruse. But Carter, I think some of the people are going to have the question, okay, so you go to the University of Miami. Are you a Florida guy or are you a Michigan guy that went down to Florida and are back here for the summer?
Michigan guy all the way. Hail from Birmingham, Michigan. Wear it on my chest till I die, especially the English D. All Detroit. Just took a little trip to Miami during the school year, and that's what we do. But us, the interns, will also be at the wiffle ball field, so you'll see us
so
there.
So sometimes if the youngins want to go play wiffle balls, the next pitch to Marcoux hit deep into left center field. It's brought in at the track, and Ruse will take the opportunity to scoot up into third. So a runner on third with 2 away. Matt Gehrig comes to the plate. You know, the kids do love the wiffle ball over there.
We're having a great time over there.
They certainly
don't worry,
enjoy.
I'm not afraid to throw the splitter every once in a while.
Gotta keep the kids honest, don't you? You 100%. Can't let them always rip extra base hits off of you. No, it's exciting. I think a lot of the interns around here are what make this place go, and a lot of the work that gets done are you and your fellow interns. So I'm glad we can get you up here. I hope it's not the only time you find your way to the booth. You and the other interns that we'll get a chance to talk to later, RJ and Cooper, as Gehrig ahead in the count 2-0.
Yeah, it's been fun, and you know the USPBL, it's important, you know, to have kids come out here experience this. And we've been talking to so many people. It's been a great experience so far, and we will be here all summer, so can't wait.
The 2-0, chopped foul down the third base line. And Carter, you don't have to be modest. You're also doing some broadcasting down at the University of Miami as well.
Yeah, go Canes down there for WVUM 90.5 FM, the school radio station, calling some football, basketball, a lot of baseball, and it's been great. Love Miami. Hurricane for life, I guess. I don't know.
The 2-1 misses high and in, 3-1. So Carter at the U. I'm sure it's a pretty fun experience getting to jump in and get your feet wet with you know, ACC. Everything is a pretty awesome way to get started, to see that high level action. The 3-1 fouled straight back, counts full, 3-2. But I have to imagine you've had some pretty cool moments early on in your broadcasting career already.
Yeah, a wonderful program in Miami for broadcasting. Lots of different experiences. To the highlight of my broadcasting career, back-to-back-to-back home runs called in a Miami Hurricanes game. It has not happened much, so.
3-2 misses outside. The inning will continue as Ben Ferguson comes to the plate. Runners on the corners, 2 away. 1-0 Diamond Hoppers here in the third as Ben Ferguson comes to the plate. A strikeout victim, his first time up.
Yeah, and he was swinging hard on all those pitches, trying to get a hold of them, but has another opportunity here, similar to what we saw in the first 2 out runners on the corners.
First pitch misses, 1-0. Runner on third, Zeb Roos. He doubled, moved up on a fly out to left. Gehrig just walked over at first. The 1-0 swing and off the end of the bat, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, and I'm sure a lot of the people watching, especially those here in Michigan, they're not blaming you for going south, especially during the school year. We have to deal with the snow and the not beautiful baseball weather like we've had so far this season. You get it basically 24/7.
I do, but these Michigan summers, you can't beat them. Unbelievable. The weather's been great. Love it here. Love being around the local Michiganders. Maybe make my way up north 4th of July, but love being in Michigan, especially here at the USPBL. So many local people coming around.
1-2, ground ball right side, past the diving glove of Schubert. That's an RBI base knock for Ben Ferguson. Didn't get all of it. It had eyes, and, well, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and that's another RBI for Ferguson.
He thought Picardo was really settled in, going to get out of this inning, but just a little chopper towards second, gets through, adds on another run for Ferguson, the guy who struck out his first time up. So battles back here, and now you get the 6-hole hitter Schellenberger up to bat.
He has some power from the left side. First pitch to Schellenberger, puts it on the ground to Wilcoxon. He'll take it the short way to second, a much closer play than maybe anticipated, but Ferguson out. Schellenberger bounces out, but the Hoppers add another run on the Ben Ferguson single, and that ground out was our 5th third out of the game. And with the 5th third out of the game, that means it's time for JJ the Water Boy, brought to you by Michigan First Credit Union. JJ always making sure our hardworking umpires have water or hydrated, gets rewarded for his efforts. And again, JJ, the star of the show here at the USPBL and at Jimmy John's Field. Always one of the best parts of the game. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still, or 2-0 now, Diamond Hoppers on top here on the USPBL network.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchises in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Bottom of the 3rd, 2-0. Diamond Hoppers on top of the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers here on the USPBL network. Due up for the Beavers, you have 9-1-2. Wilcoxon, Perez, and Piotrowski.
Got a pitching change, it looks like. Maybe not. Maybe those.
Yeah, threw me out. I know the uniforms that the Diamond Hoppers are wearing are a little different. They're alternate, I guess, frog uniforms. You have the spots on there, as you see Pierce Banks. There we go. There's
He's
the right.
We saw the glove. We saw the orange glove. We know.
It is a very orange glove, very distinctive glove for him, but Diamond Hoppers, what would you call those uniforms? I guess the frog is the best way. I'm sure there's a better word to describe.
I mean, the way they're calling these MLB uniforms, they're calling them the City Connects. Maybe we can play off of that a little.
The Amphibious Connect or something like that with the Diamond Hoppers.
I like that.
Wilcoxon takes strike 1. Banks got through the second fairly easily, a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. The 0-1 over for a strike. That one 91. In that first inning, he was using a lot more of the off speed, the changeup. It seems like he's feeling the fastball more as he's starting to use it more often here in the 2nd and 3rd innings. There it is again, 92. That one too far outside. Count goes to 1-2.
And he is working that fastball. That's because it's working. and only 2 hits given up in these first 2 innings. They're swinging late on that 91, 92 mile per hour fastball. He's going to stick with it.
The 1-2, swinging a ground ball back up the middle. Wilcoxon sends it from where it came, and a leadoff single for the Beavers. 3rd hit of the ball game, and the lineup turns over as Brandon Perez comes to the plate. And I'm sure he's used to it by now, but I have to make a concerted effort to call him Brandon, because I'm sure he has heard Brandon his whole life, but it is Brandon, and that's one that I have to make the effort to make sure you get Brandon Perez correct. He takes a swing at the first pitch, fastball, swings through it, 0-1 from Doral, Florida. Now, I'm not completely familiar with Florida geography.
It's Doral.
Doral? Okay. All right. Well, I had both our director, Gibby, and Carter yelling at me. So educate me on Doral, Florida.
Doral. It's about 25 minutes north of Coral Gables, and a lot of good baseball players up there. Lots of good high school baseball, actually, up there.
So no surprise, another Doral native. The way Gibby and Carter correct me, it's like I guess I should be more familiar. I need to go study up on my Florida geography.
Well, we'll give you a pass for sure.
Next pitch hits off the glove of Stevenson. That moves up Wilcoxon. I know there's a lot of spring training down there, but I am not. I guess I need to be more well versed on spring training locations as well. Doral. It doesn't help that we were just talking about Coral Gables, and it's just a C to a D. The English language is weird like that. 2-1, wave and a miss, had Perez off balance.
And that's that good-looking off-speed stuff we've seen. And he was going with the fastball. That one way outside the plate, just seeing if he'll take a hack at it. He does. And now the count's evened up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second, Wilcoxon. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip, goes through the wickets of Stevenson.
We got some sun creeping in here after a lousy start with the weather.
Yeah, there's some angry looking clouds around, I'd say, the perimeter of the city of Utica. They are well in the distance, but it's as if we're the ones blessed right now with the sunlight, because anything to the north or east of us does not look like they're getting much sun.
No, and these fans deserve it for coming out here with this uncertain weather.
Yeah, there you see, that's over the left field fence. That does not look nice. Now, when we get to the field, it looks beautiful. There's that shot as Perez chases a pitch high and away, and there's the off speed up high again to get the punch out. That is punch out number 4 on the day for Banks. Runner on second with 1 away as Matt Pietrowski comes to the plate.
Yeah, Banks looks really good right now. And you mentioned he only takes 7 to 8 seconds in between pitches. He has that consistency right now he's working with. That consistency leads to confidence, and another swing and a miss there. He's piling it on.
Breaking ball starts for a strike. That one floated in there.
Just knows what he needs to do right now to pick his poison.
Remember, Pietrowski hit about a 380-foot foul ball last at bat before striking out. Follows up the changeup with a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wilcoxon led the inning off with a single, moved up on the pass ball.
His 3's good.
A turn and a look.
Iris.
That'll be one disengagement, I guess is the correct term, because a throw is inconsequential. If you step off, that counts as the disengagement for the pickoff rule. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Now that says 91 on the gun, but that felt like a lot faster than the other 91s we've seen.
It did for sure. But this is a big opportunity for the Beavers. You got your 2-hitter up here, then Hillbridge up next. A runner on second, only 1 out, still early. Don't undervalue a base hit in this situation.
1-2. Looks like a slider away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
in these situations, we've been seeing Banks get outside the strike zone a lot. So it'll be interesting to see these next two.
Well, when he works ahead, you can try to go for the swing and miss more. Foul ball on a fastball straight back.
Yeah, that time he was trying to get him to swing and miss going down the plate, but good battle here between Petrosky and Banks.
Wilcoxon off of second. Banks waits, looks back, kicks and deals. In the dirt. Nice job by Stevenson to keep that in front. Wilcoxon had a pretty good secondary lead, and I think if that goes down either line, especially the first base line, might move up to third, and then you don't even need a base hit. A ground ball could net the first run for the Beavers. 3-2, swinging a ground ball to third. Glove by Maddox, has to fumble with it a bit, recovers in time, and Pietrowski thrown out at first. Wilcoxon stays at second. So the 5-3 ground out, and there's 2 away for Ray Hilbrick.
Yeah, bobbled by Maddox. Good recovery there. They needed that and couldn't let up another base runner. They now find themselves in a more comfortable situation, especially for Banks, where he can kind of just throw his stuff. Although you got another solid hitter in Hilbrick up 1-for-1 today.
Broke his bat the first time up, but blooped a single in. Would take an encore performance as the first pitch fastball catches a lot of the plate for strike one. Banks looks in, comes set. Does not seem too concerned with Wilcoxon over at second. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-0 game. We're in the bottom of the third. Beavers trying to push across their first run. Second time in 3 innings they've had a runner in scoring position. The 1-1. Wave and a miss. Couldn't keep the hands back.
And you mentioned second time in 3 innings with the runner in scoring position. It's kind of a common theme with this team. They got to find a way to take advantage of those opportunities. And they're not getting tons of hits every game, but need to clutch up in certain situations. This would be huge.
1-2, tapper foul, first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hilbrick. Banks looking for the 5th strikeout to end the third. He stares in, big lead for Wilcoxon off of second. Banks set the deal. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on Hilbrick. 5 Ks for Banks. And the leadoff single does not come to pass. Carter, thank you so much for joining us. We'll tag in RJ when we come back in the top of the 4th. 2-0 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL Network.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Sunny skies for now here at Jimmy John's Field as we take a look at the updated weather. Temperature still hovering about 70 degrees, still pretty humid. The forecast says partly cloudy, I don't know how much I believe it. The forecast has been wrong so far today. So Carter Lutz joined us for the first 3 innings. Now RJ Carroll coming up to join us. Again, one of our interns here at the USPBL. Thanks so much for stepping in and taking the seat to my right.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's a good experience. I mean, we're over at the wiffle ball field, got the call up here, and couldn't say no, so sub somebody in. But no, this is an awesome opportunity. I know Carter loved it, and Cooper's going to fill in the last 3 innings and love it as well. But yeah, just trying to do as much as we can to get experience, and that's why we're here over the summer.
So nervous that the camera's going to fall off.
So RJ will get to start with the bottom third of the Diamond Hopper order. Shire, Stevenson, Maddox. Shire grounded out to third his first time up. Pichardo's been a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde so far. When he's been on, but the hits he's been giving up have come in droves. Bunt attempt, third base line, bare hand, throw to first, not in time. Even if it wasn't gloved by Ortega, and the bunt hit from Shire. Lead off knock, and the Diamond Hoppers trying to add to their 2-0 lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, smart play there by Shire. Saw the third baseman a little back, decided to lay down a bunt, and I think he would have beaten out the throw regardless if that pick was scooped up or not at the first base.
Brings up Luke Stevenson, got under one, popped out to the shortstop, Wilcoxon in shallow left field. First pitch fastball, misses upstairs, ball 1.
You see Stevenson, he's the 8-hitter, but he's still batting .273. Just shows the power that this Diamond Hoppers team has shown so far this season and why they're for now at the top of the standings.
Swings and puts one towering into left field. Again, just under it as the left fielder, Bolin, takes it over Perez, and that's the first out of the inning.
I think he almost hit that as high as he did far.
Right?
That was a towering fly ball.
It kissed the clouds as it went by. And it's 1 on, 1 away for Todd Maddox.
It didn't seem like it coming in today, but the sun may start to be kind of a factor in the outfield.
Yeah, it was, well, it was not a very nice day for baseball when we got here. Gloomy, I think, would have been the best way to describe the weather. And it's out of nowhere, this little pocket. Again, we showed you last inning, the clouds on the horizon behind the outfield do not look nice, but sun shining, can't complain. Todd Maddox, the 1-0, swing and a miss, throw down to first, hopped in, and wouldn't have mattered. Shire back easily.
Torres, though, staying aware, making sure Shire's just got his head in the game there, though. But yeah, I mean, when we came in earlier today, the tarp was on the field. It was wet. You saw them kind of blowing the outfield off, getting the water off the grass, and it seemed like the conditions weren't going to be very favorable for the players, but now you can't complain at all.
1-1 popped up, but out of play into the grandstands. Bounces to a young fan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first, Jake Shire.
Yeah, Maddox trying to do something positive before the lineup flips back over to Van Diver.
Yeah, if you can get on base here, this could be a big swing batter in this lineup. You can have 2 on with 1 away with really the top part of the order where you're really having success. Quick throw over, tag not in time. But if you can get this out against Maddox, then, all right, Van Diver with 2 away, you just need 1 more, and you can almost break up that top of your order going into next inning. The 1-2, outside, 2-2.
Seems like, though, for the Hoppers so far this season, it's kind of been just lineup by commission. I mean, it's not that Maddox it should be batting in the 9 hole. It's just everybody's been coming in their different ways so far this season. It's why they're at the top of the standings, and everybody's doing their part.
Off for second, swing and a miss. The throw way late. So Shire moves up into scoring position as Maddox goes down on the punch out. 3 Ks now for Pichardo. Lineup turns over and Blake Van Diver comes to the plate.
Yes, I mean, second stolen base there on the season for Shire. He's now 2 for 2. Good to get into scoring position here, especially with 2 outs. Lets Van Diver have a chance to knock him in with the base hit.
Van Diver 1 for 2, led off the game with a single, grounded out to short last time up. First pitch misses away. 1-0.
Van Diver's played and started in every game so far this season.
And it's not hard to see why. He's been a welcomed addition to this Diamond Hopper lineup. RBI chance here with 2 away. Misses upstairs. 2-0.
See, Torres, it's second time in a number of pitches just checking on Shire. He checked on him at first a couple times, and there he popped up pretty quickly to check on him at second.
Yeah, with 2 away, maybe you don't need to worry about him quite as much. I mean, if he goes up to third, doesn't make too much of a difference as the 2-0 misses high. 3-0. Yes, a pass ball would score if he moves up to third, but at this point, a base hit and the way that Shire moves, Ryan Cockey's going to send him on anything that gets through the infield.
Yeah, and we just saw that demonstrated with that stolen base attempt. He's going to be going once the ball is put in play as well because there is 2 outs.
The get me over pitch splits the plate. 3-1.
Open base, though, here. Walk would not do that much damage.
Yeah, the problem is Zeb Roos waits in the on-deck circle. He's 2 for 2 today with a double. 3-1. Swinging a foul straight back. Pichardo trying to battle back, get out of the inning, strand the runner at second. Top of the 4th, 2-0. Diamond Hoppers on top of the Beavers. As officially the game Friday has not counted yet. However, I'd be surprised it was suspended in the 8th. 12-7 Diamond Hoppers. Be surprised if that doesn't end up with a Diamond Hopper dub. Swing and a miss at a pitch above the letters. Van Diver not happy with himself. He knows he swung at ball 4, and the stolen base doesn't come back to hurt the Beavers. Heading to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL Network.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time at Jimmy John's Field experiencing another exciting baseball game. This ballpark is one of many quality of life recreational assets Macomb County has to offer. And as you leave here today, let me invite you to explore Macomb County's diverse range of outdoor assets by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. You'll find that Macomb County's trails are open year-long and available for walking, running, biking, as well as paddling along the Clinton River. In Macomb County, there is something for everyone. Find out more about Macomb County's 4 seasons of fun by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. Now let's play ball.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Bottom of the 4th. As balloons are popping in front of us through, I was wondering what the heck that was. You hear the pop and you see something flying up. It's Princess Day. People here are enjoying what is, well, a little bit of good weather has come over Jimmy John's Field. It's been very erratic. Bottom of the 4th, and it's the middle 3rd of the order to face Pierce Banks, Christian Ortega, Megalik Bolin, EJ Daskow for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, looking for their first run of the game.
Yeah, and Banks has been on his stuff for the most part so far this game, 3 scoreless innings, but Ortega did get him the first time around with a double.
First pitch. Called strike. And that's one thing that Banks has done so well. First pitch strikes, able to work ahead of batters. It's the reason why he has 5 strikeouts, no walks coming into the game. Walks were a reason that Banks had I don't even say elevated, but the ERA was a little higher than you might expect with some of his secondary numbers.
And we see he throws with so much power and force on every single pitch. It looks like he's putting his all into it, so sometimes it can go astray and all over the place like that pitch right there. But for the most part today, he's been pretty locked in.
Saw Banks tap his chest saying, hey, I missed the spot. I don't think you're looking for the slider high and outside. for the strikeout pitch. The 1-2, wave and a miss. That's where you're looking to place the slider. Half a dozen punch outs for Pierce Banks. 1 up, 1 down, and it brings up Malik Bolin.
Yeah, only throws the slider 10.2% of the time, but that one was right on cue. And a beautiful pitch there from Banks, and he keeps rolling on here for the Hoppers.
Bolin comes to the plate. First pitch fastball misses upstairs. 1-0.
Malik Bolin, 125 average on the season. Part of the reason why the Beavers have been struggling so far is just because of their hitting, even though they did put up 7 runs on Friday. Getting helped out by an error, though. Base runner, any type of base runner counts.
Sometimes it doesn't matter by hook or by crook. If you can find a way on and push across the run to get a little bit of the momentum going, that will definitely help as Bolin reaches on the E6. 1 on, 1 away. AJ Doskow comes to the plate.
Yeah, Shire is definitely going to want that ground ball back. Wasn't even that hard hit of a ball. Kind of came right to him. Looked pretty routine off the bat.
Say that's about as routine as they come. First pitch breaking ball in for a strike. Looked like the bender. 0-1. And even after the play, you saw Shire looking at the glove going, how did I bobble that one? That's his, I mean, it was about a 5-hopper right to him.
It's always the glove's fault.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 0-2. If Banks can get a repeat of that ground ball, might be able to get a 6-4-3 double play. Try to get out of the inning. Banks looks in, comes set. We have time called at the plate.
Clouds are starting to come back in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, each half inning, it's basically roll of the dice what we're getting weather-wise. As long as it doesn't rain, I'm happy because it's a nice warm day. The 0-2, fastball, strike 3 called, painted the black on the outside part of the plate. That's strikeout number 7 for Banks.
Yeah, well, if players can't get it done in the field, might have to do it himself, and that's what he's done for these first 2 outs of the inning. So far, just increasing that strikeout total, and he brought the heat there on the outside corner. He's been, it said 91, 92 on the board all day, but it feels like he's throwing a little bit faster than that.
First pitch misses low, ball 1. And you talk to any manager, and they'll talk about how you have to pick up your teammates. Hey, sometimes you'll make a mistake as a pitcher, and Shire will track down a ball up the gap, or up the hole rather, or an outfielder makes a great catch. And that time the strikeout picks up the defense, the throw down to second, not in time, and Bolin with the stolen base.
Yeah, that's Bolin's first stolen base of the season right there. And
yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting him to go.
A smart play, though, by Bolin there, unexpected, and now a runner in scoring position for Torres, trying to cut this lead in half. And it seems like each inning the Hoppers are up, the Beavers are just barely hanging on and stopping them from breaking this open, and then keep the Beavers in the game long enough, they might break through eventually.
And I don't mind that, especially if Banks is not paying attention to you, letting you get a bigger lead. Try to put yourself in scoring position. And now all Ray Torres has to do, if you punch one through the infield, outfield playing pretty far back, a ground ball through, and you can almost steal that first run, no pun intended.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a terrible throw from Stevenson. The catcher, it was right on the money, a little short hop, but I just think everybody, Shear at shortstop, Van Diver at second, and Stevenson as well behind the plate, we're all just a little late getting a jump start on that stolen base because it was just so unexpected.
Heads up play from Bolin to put himself into scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second, 2 away. Here in the bottom of the 4th, the pitch. Swing and a fly ball deep right field. Schellenbarger settles under it a couple steps from the track as Torres gave it a ride, just not enough of one. The error and the stolen base does not come to pass for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. We've played 4 full innings, still a 2-0 Diamond Hopper lead here on the USPBL network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Back here on the USPBL network, through 4 innings, it's 2-0 Diamond Hoppers, as it's been an interesting outing for Julian Pichardo. There's been moments where he's looked fantastic. There's been pockets where he's struggled, and you put it in a blender, it comes out. It's 2 runs, and that's probably where he should be at.
Yeah, I mean, it seems in some innings he's just cruising through, but other times he's hanging on by a thread, getting out of jams. So they're keeping him out here for the 5th inning, not making a pitching change yet. But at the end of the day, he's only lit up 2 runs, and he hasn't got any run support yet. But he's been doing his job for the most part against this Diamond Hoppers offense that has been a force all season, and even put up 19 against the Beavers in 1 game earlier this season.
Here comes Zeb Roos, just saw on the screen, 2 for 2 today, a single and a double. And he has one of the best names in the USPBL. Zeb Roos is a name you do not forget. Tattoos one right to center field. A great swing for out number 1.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there, though.
Baseball can be a fickle mistress. And that right there is one where you do everything right. And you go back to the dugout, and what do you say? If you pull it 40 feet, 50 feet to the left, it's extra bases. But he hit it right at Perez. 1 pitch, 1 out as Noah Marcoux comes to the plate.
Yeah, he's been on it so far today, though, has Zeb Roos. And, yeah, got to love that name.
Zeb Roos is one of the best. Now, there are some other ones out there that are very solid. And Fox Liam is probably one of the other contenders out there. I'd say it's between Fox Liam and Zeb Roos as the most baseball name we have here in the USPBL.
And they're both some of the best players on their teams.
That makes it a little better, too. The 2-0 called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Noah Marcoux. 0 for 1 today. He worked a walk in his initial at-bat.
You want me to put him on batter once?
Ground ball, foul down the first base line.
Yeah,
nice job by Ortega to snag that one, even though it was foul.
Staying aware, staying on his toes, and maybe helping out the ball boy a little bit from going out there and fetching a foul ball. But Marcoux, coming into this game, has played all 7 of the games coming into it, and he's batting .500. It's pretty unbelievable if you think about it.
I mean, .500 at any point is worth celebrating, and he's worked 9 walks as well. So he has the discipline. He walked it, as I mentioned, walked his first time up. Full count here. The pitch. Works another walk. 1 on, 1 away as Matt Gehrig comes to the plate.
And I think as the year goes on a little bit and these pitchers realize how big of a threat he is at the plate, he's going to have to keep being disciplined because they're not going to give him what he wants at the plate, and they're just going to wait for the next guy to come up and kind of use him at the open bag like Pichardo just did.
And that's the evolution of a hitter. Once people, I guess, for lack of a better term, when the book's out on what works, you have to find a way to adjust to the adjustments. So Gehrig watches the slider miss up and in, ball one. Because early in the season, hey, especially in a league like this, maybe you're not familiar with a lot of these guys, there's not a big scouting report, and pitchers are just trying to throw strikes. Well, once you start to really establish yourself, and Marcoux has established himself for a couple seasons here at the USPBL as one of the premier guys, but once you start getting to that point where, hey, you're hitting 500 through your first 7 games or whatever it may be, then you might only get 1 or 2 pitches, hittable pitches in a game to attack, but being able to lay off and take the walk, that means at some point they're going to have to come to you, and that's when you deal the damage.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's also like just a comfort aspect to it. He's been here for a couple years, contrary to some of these other players, and he's been in the system. He knows what to expect, and it's paid off, especially this year.
Gehrig puts it in between short and third for a base knock, a walk and a single. Have the Diamond Hoppers in business here in the 5th as Ben Ferguson comes to the plate. C&I single last time for Ferguson, drove in the 2nd run for the Hoppers. Chance to add another RBI to the line here in at-bat number 3.
Looks like we're going to get a mound visit here as there's action in the Beavers bullpen.
That was a long time. That's a long walk from the dugout.
The dugouts here at Jimmy John's Field are different in where they would be at like a major league ballpark. They're farther away from home plate, and everything just seems to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, there's a ton of foul ground. As anything popped up, like you'll see some that in a lot of other ballparks. You see there just how much feet. I have never actually measured it. I bet you there's about 100 feet from foul line to the dugout.
Yeah, it's so much because they use those. I feel like normally where those kind of field level suites are is where a normal dugout would be at, like say a Tigers game or any other professional baseball game. But those field level suites have got to be awesome. But push the dugouts back a little bit.
Yes, it's a unique feature here at Jimmy John's Field. Part of it is the fan interaction you can get, and why so many young kids love to come here to Jimmy John's Field is that accessibility. But it is, when you want to have a mound visit, it's a long walk. First pitch swinging for Ferguson down the right field line, foul. Barreled that one up just a hair in front of it. And that's at least a double and at least the 2nd RBI of the day for Ferguson if that's 12 inches to the left.
Yeah, and that could have scored 2 as well. Right down the line, just right of the foul line. Ferguson looking for his 3rd extra base hit of the season.
As it stands, it's strike 1. Runner on second, Marcoux. Runner on first, Gehrig. 1 away here in the Hopper half of the 5th. Picardo looks in, comes set. Fastball misses away, 1-1.
Of course, if you're Ben Ferguson, you want to get a hit here, knock in an RBI, knock in Marcoux at second base, but you also want to make sure, move the runners over and move him to second and third in scoring position.
Swing and a drive to right field. He's going to move him over a lot. That one clears the fence in right by about 30 feet. And it's 5-0 Hoppers.
Ben Ferguson took that one for a ride. That was a no-doubter. His first home run of the season, and Hilbrich in right field didn't even make much of an effort. Knew right off the bat that one was going to be a homer.
Yeah, Hilbrich took about a step, maybe 2, and then he realized it was an effort and futility. And that one breaks the game wide open.
Yeah, that fence out there in right field is 320. That had to have traveled at least 350.
And that's right down the line. That was a shot. That one almost completely cleared the hill. Well, that young kid's very excited. I mean, he was the one that won the race, and luckily for him, he didn't hit it too much farther. Otherwise, it was going to be lost into the woods. And now I think it's the end of the day for Picardo.
Yeah, they've been trying to buy time just for these arms in the bullpen getting warmed up.
Picardo exits. We'll have a new arm when we come back. Diamond Hoppers slugging their way to the lead. 5-0 Hoppers here in the 5th. You're watching the USPBL Network.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Matt Maldonado coming into the game for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Very limited action so far this season. Just 2 2/3 innings, and the command's been a little off. He was walked 8, given up just a few hits, but the small sample size has not been kind to Maldonado. He has a chance to right the ship here against the Diamond Hoppers as his Beavers trail 5-0.
Yeah, and that 33.75 ERA has not really representation of who he is as a pitcher. He's only pitched 2 2/3 innings so far this season. Hasn't gone the way he'd like, but going to have a big opportunity here to possibly be a lengthy reliever here as he's taken over for Picardo. He's only really got 2 pitches he chooses from. He's got the 4-seamer, he's got the curveball. Rarely pitches that changeup, less than 1% of the time. So if you're a hopper hitter, you kind of have a good idea of what's coming.
Essentially a 2-pitch arsenal. It's either going to be a 4-seamer or that bender, and he'll inherit, well, nobody on base, 1 out. So the final line for Picardo, not very kind. Gives up 5 runs in 4 1/3 inning, and that home run was the backbreaker.
Yeah, and it seemed like for a little bit, we talked about it, there was times where he looked great, but there were also times where he was like flirting with disaster a little bit with runners on the base pass and getting out of jams, and it finally just paid off for the Hoppers here in this top of the 5th inning, and it was the plug. Time to pull the plug.
Maldonado will be greeted by Bryant Schellenbarger. 0 for 2 today. Rolled over 1 last time to short. Maldonado works out of the stretch. First pitch swinging and a bouncer foul. Schellenbarger 0 for 2. Lined out to center his first time up. And even the 1 out that Picardo did get in the inning was that hard hit line drive from Ruse to start it off.
Yeah, and it kind of, if you're the head coach, you kind of have the idea now, the hitters, it's been a couple times through the order, they kind of know what's coming at him, and it maybe time to switch up the arm a little bit. And now you got Schellenbarger here. He is the 6th hitter, but he's kind of acting as a leadoff man, kind of going to tell the guys in the dugout, hey, what's coming, how's the release point, and everything like that.
He fouled that one off the leg, and I don't think that felt too good for Schellenbarger. He's going to take a moment. I think that got either the inside of that front shin pad or right above it.
Never a good feeling.
No. 1 and 2 is Schellenbarger takes an extra moment. Maldonado looks in, gets the sign, comes set. The kick in the deal. Oh, going right back to the leg. Did that hit Schellenbarger?
It had to have.
I don't know if they're... No, he's going to stay in. if he avoided that, if he was able to elude that baseball, that was some nifty dance moves.
I don't know how he could have, though. I mean, it's like if he missed it, it would have just gone to the backstop.
It was impressive. Count goes to 3-2. I think it went behind his front leg and in front of his back leg.
Maybe it bounced before it hit him?
I think so.
He's here to hit. He wants to hit. He wasn't even looking for the hit by pitch call.
Takes one the other way, in the air and deep. Bolin going back at the track, and he watches it into the glove as Schellenbarger almost made it back-to-back for the Hoppers. Instead, it's just a loud out, number 2.
Seemed like it was kind of just a pop-up. That would have been a pretty routine fly ball, but it just kept carrying and carrying back to the warning track, making it a little bit of a more difficult play for Bolin there in left field.
Schellenbarger has the strength to muscle some out. Nearly did there. 5-0 Diamond Hoppers here in the 5th. Jake Shire to the plate. Singled, stole a base his last trip to the plate. First pitch misses low and away with the fastball 1-0.
Just another guy on this team that's just been contributing every single day. This 400 average, you see Marcoux with a 500 average. Zeb Roos has a 467 average. Just stuff you don't see that much in professional baseball. Just these averages in the 400s, 500s.
Now, I think Ryan Cockey, the manager for the Diamond Hoppers, will be the first to tell you that's not going to continue. That baseball is a game where you fail a lot more than you succeed. But it's not as if the Diamond Hoppers pitchers are any slouches either. I think this Diamond Hopper team is set up to succeed in a big, big way. But no, you're not going to see guys hitting 450 when we get into July. The 3-0 gets over 3-1.
No, it's a long season, and the Hoppers, they've gotten off to a good start. They're first place right now, but this is every team is very similar. I know the Beavers are at the bottom, but every team's competitive, and on any given day, anyone can come out and put up 5 runs like the Hoppers have done today or get shut out.
I think the biggest hope, if you're a Diamond Hopper fan, is that when guys do go cold, they don't do it as a group. That you get, wait, one guy goes cold for a weekend. Is that 3-1 pitch wasn't even close to Shire. First walk for Maldonado brings up Luke Stevenson. But when someone does start to go cold, that other guys pick him up. Luke Stevenson, maybe he starts going on an absolute tear, or someone else, Schellenbarger, starts to really see the ball well. Not everyone decides, all right, we're all going to hit at the same time and we're all going to not hit at the same time, because that's how losing streaks do come about.
Yeah, and these 8 and 9 hitters, we mentioned Stevenson and Maddox, they're hitting in the high 200s. I mean, they've came in and they've contributed every single game so far this season, so it just shows the depth that they have.
Stevenson just got under the last one. I've liked the swing into the approach last time up. Next pitch, fastball misses away. Throw down to second, not in time. Shire, his second stolen base of the afternoon. He puts himself in scoring position for Stevenson.
Torres barely even popped up on that one, kind of just threw it from his knees. Shire got in pretty easily there. His second stolen base of the day, 3rd of the season.
Got some impressive speed. No one's holding him on at second. If he wants to take third, he could. The 2-0 fastball didn't miss by much, but 3-0 all the same.
Speed he's shown today, it's kind of surprising. He only attempted 1 stolen base coming into this game.
Maybe that was a focus point for him coming into the game. The 3-0 behind Stevenson gets to the backstop, so Shire will jog up to third on the wild pitch. Back-to-back walks. And that brings up the 9-hole hitting third baseman Todd Maddox.
Yeah, we've seen some command issues early a little bit from Maldonado, and in his 2 2/3 inning that he has pitched so far this season, 8 walks were in those 2 2/3 innings, which is a lot. So definitely still trying to figure things out here in the USPBL so far this season, but it's a long year.
Maddox at the plate, chance to extend this 5-0 lead. It was the Ben Ferguson home run that propelled the Diamond Hoppers to this 5-run cushion. It was a 2-0 affair coming into the inning, and the Hoppers have broken this one wide open. 1-0 the count to Maddox, and Let's see how patient he is or aggressive at the plate. The 1-0. Fastball misses away.
I think if you're Maddox, that's 6 straight balls now for Maldonado. You just got to wait in there and let him give you a strike first. Kind of have that patient approach now.
Now, I do not disagree with you in any regard. I would say the devil's advocate, the other approach is, you know he's going to try to get it over and just put it down Main Street. But you swing at that on a 2-0, and it's a lazy pop-up to Schubert over at second, and the threat is averted. A couple of 2-out walks do not hurt Maldonado, but 3 runs coming to score on the Ben Ferguson home run. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-0 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Back here on the USPBL Network, Diamond Hoppers enjoying a 5-0 lead over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Pierce Bank been in cruise control most of the day. 7 punch-outs here in this one. Brady Beaton alongside R.J. Carroll. As well, the Diamond Hoppers they're picking up right where they left off. They are showing that they have a pretty stacked roster and they're playing up to their potential.
Yeah, on the mound as we've seen with Pierce Banks, and then also in the batting lineup as we saw that home run go a long way in the top half of the 5th inning from Ferguson. But yeah, they're just a great roster put together this season up and down, and they're showcasing it this weekend as they won 12-7, or what we think will be eventually a win.
And
but
a suspended game over the Beavers on Friday. They were leading 12-7.
And now they're showing a little bit of their defensive aspect as they have a shutout going right now, courtesy of Pierce Banks, who we just showed had 7 strikeouts, and he hasn't really seemed stressed out on the mound at all today.
Schubert, Wilcoxon, and Perez. Schubert goes the other way, tailing right into the glove of Ferguson. Gets it done at the plate, gets it done in the field. And not a half-bad swing from Schubert results in out number 1.
Off the bat, yeah, he looked like just a little bloop single that was going to fall in that gap there between the center fielder and the left fielder, but Ferguson showed his power in the top half of the inning, showing his speed out in left field there, and a quick out for the Hoppers.
Just had too much of that tail going right towards Ferguson. Helped him out a bit as Wilcoxon comes to the plate. Got a hit in his only at-bat today.
You wonder how much longer they're going to give Pierce Banks here in this game, as they're up 5-0. Of course, you want to let him kind of ride out this really good outing, but also it's early in the year. Don't want to waste the arm, as he seems to be one of their main guys.
When you take a quick look ahead at what the Diamond Hoppers have coming up, they'll have a little bit of time before their next game, as they will be busy next weekend. Their next game coming up will be on June 6th, so 4 days off. The problem is they play June 6th, they play June 7th, and then they will play on Sunday, June 9th, so a 3-game weekend for the Diamond Hoppers. But at least Banks will have a little bit of time to rest up before the next time they take the field.
And you got to expect in one of those 4 games, Banks is going to see the mound maybe even twice.
2-2, swinging a tapper back. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ben Wilcoxon. And for the Beavers, it just feels like they need to get 1 on the board. they need the dam to burst, and hopefully more will come behind it, but they just feel snake bitten right now. Slider away, count goes to 3-2.
Yeah, just a little quiet, just dead. No real energy around the team right now. They're looking for a run, but they're also looking to get their momentum back in the standings a little bit too. Find that win, get that confidence back.
Swing and a fly ball left field deep. Ferguson goes back, off his glove at the wall. Will Coxon will head into second. And maybe the opportunity, the opening the Beavers need, a runner on second with only one away as the top of the lineup comes to the plate in Brandon Perez.
Yeah, maybe ruled as an error. I don't know what they're going to rule that as, but a good piece of hitting there by Will Coxon, though. Thought that may have gone over the fence off the bat, but made it a tough play for Ferguson, and he couldn't catch that ball. Maybe lost it in the clouds a little bit. Not too much sun.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. I don't know if he lost it, if he misjudged it. I couldn't tell if it hit off his glove or off his hand in real time, as the first pitch here to Perez is a strike, 0-1. So I believe they are ruling that a hit for Will Coxon, so that'll be his second of the day. Perez takes it right back up the middle. Ruse picks it up. Will Coxon to the plate. The throw, the tag. They got him! An absolute hose from Zeb Ruse, and the Beavers still can't find their way on the board.
What a play from Zeb Ruse. We've seen it at the plate so far today as he's 2 for 3, but a dart to home plate. Catcher Stevenson didn't even have to move, just had to put his glove there, put the tag down, and when it looked like a little momentum for the Beavers, gets taken right away by that right arm, that cannon from Roos in center field.
And I don't dislike anything from the Beavers. I would have sent him there too. That was a frozen rope from Roos.
On a line too, no hop.
Talk about having a day. 2 for 3 at the plate. His one out was a line out to center field. And then just a cannon display out in center field for out number 2. And when I just got done saying the Beavers feel snake bitten, that only adds to the snake bittenness, if that's even a word.
Yeah, and it just shows how just well put together this Hoppers team is. We've seen it at the plate. Now we saw Ferguson with a nice catch for the first out of this inning, and then Roos in center. They're just getting contributions from everywhere.
It does feel like everything's coming up roses for the Diamond Hoppers right now.
Yeah, Banks is looking good on the mound. They're looking good everywhere. They do have that one error, but it's going to happen.
Perez was trying to move up to third, a swing and a foul from Piotrowski, and put him back at second. Grounded out to third his last time up.
I was going to say, Perez does have some speed there on second. He has a stolen base on the season. I would say he'd score on a single, but with what we just saw, who knows?
Well, no one's holding him on as Van Diver shades a bit towards the second base bag just to keep him honest. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. 91 on the black from Pierce Banks. 8 strikeouts on the day for the Diamond Hopper, and we've played 5. Zeb Roos, Pierce Banks showing off their arms as the Diamond Hoppers lead at 5-0. We head to the 6th here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Top of inning number 6, 5-0 Diamond Hoppers, leading the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Brady Beaton alongside RJ Carroll, and RJ, I can't get over that throw from Zeb Roos. That was probably the play of the game so far.
Yeah, it was a rope. Not even a short hop to the catcher, right in the mid of Stevenson. Made it easy for him to put the tag down on Wilkinson, who's no slouch on the base pass. He's got a stolen base on the season. One of the more speedy players on this Beaver roster, but not fast enough to beat that throw by Zeb Roos.
Matt Maldonado out for a second inning of relief. RJ, we talked to Carter earlier, and he's down in Miami, at least for school. Now, you are all Birmingham natives. You all decided to try to get as far away from each other as possible come college. Tell everyone where you're heading or where you're at school now, and how it's definitely not close to Coral Gables in Florida.
Yeah, no, I'm about as north as you can get in Madison, Wisconsin, go to the University of Wisconsin. So bit of a weather difference from Coral Gables where Carter is, but no, it's been awesome getting good experience down there, working for their radio station as well, just like Carter does at Indiana, doing some stuff with Big Ten Plus too. Got started with that this year, and just trying to bring all that experience here over the summer and then just gain even more experience here and bring it back to Wisconsin in the fall.
So in the latter third innings, we'll talk to Cooper. He's at another Big Ten school, and you guys had no connection to any of these schools in high school beforehand. You just all ended up in seemingly, I know they're not random. They all have good broadcasting programs, but seemingly random places to maybe just the random person.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people from Birmingham, you normally see them going Michigan. You don't get into Michigan, you go to Michigan State. Yeah, went to Wisconsin just randomly for a football game. Both my parents went to Penn State, so went out there to support them, but loved the campus, wanted to go back and visit it.
So Van Diver walks on 4 straight. That's the third walk from Maldonado. So let me get this straight. You're a Birmingham kid. Your parents are Penn State alums, and Wisconsin basically stole your heart when you went to go watch Penn State play Wisconsin in Madison.
That's how it worked out, yeah.
That's everyone. That is one of the more unique stories we've had. As Maldonado walks one batter on 4 pitches, and we will get a new Beaver on the mound. 5-0 Diamond Hoppers. We'll have more when we come back here on the USPBL Network. Well, hello. The cameras have found us up here through a couple of the open windows. Not the. They try to hide us up here. One thing, if you've been up in this broadcast booth, these windows right here, I swear they're 200 pounds. I don't know if you guys have tried to open them yet, but it takes about 2 people with both arms to push these up. I'm glad the rain stayed away so we didn't have to close them. As Makito Barkman comes into the game for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. He is trying to keep this game on the rails. 5-0 Diamond Hoppers. First batter in Van Diver. Drew a 4-pitch walk, and, well, I don't think any pitcher today wants to be greeted by Zeb Roos.
No, not at all. And Makito Barkman is going to come in kind of similar coming into this game as Maldonado. Has pitched 2 2/3 innings so far, but hasn't been too kind to him. His ERA is up over 20, but he's actually going to bring his curveball as his main pitch, pitching that 44.6% of the time. Has the 4-seamer as well, and then the changeup he'll mix in there every now and then.
Oh, Barkman, he'll inherit a runner on first, nobody out. As Zeb Roos is, well, he's having as good of a game as his name is. 2 for 3, a double, run scored, gunned a guy out at the plate. Confidence has to be at an all-time high.
And that one time he got out, which was his last at bat, he put a good hit on the ball, just went right to Brandon Perez in center field.
First pitch curveball misses away, 1-0.
See if Barkman can find the zone a little bit more than Maldonado did. Just wasn't his afternoon.
So the 1-0 off to second, Van Diver. The pitch misses up high. The throw, the tag, didn't get him. Just a bit too far to the first base side of the second base bag. And Van Diver with the stolen base. That's the 3rd of the day for the Diamond Hoppers. And now Zeb Roos has an RBI opportunity.
Yeah, they're really picking on Torres behind the plate. That throw was a little high. Took a while to get the tag down, and Van Diver got under. That's his 6th stolen base on the season, leads the team.
2-0, breaking ball gets through the legs of Torres, and from second to third, Van Diver scoots up another 90 feet. Out time on the wild pitch. 3-0 to Roos. This inning is 7 pitches old. We have 7 balls thrown between 2 Beaver pitchers.
Yeah, and obviously 3-0 is normally a take pitch, but any of these Hopper batters, I just wait till Barkman gives you a strike, as a 4-pitch walk there for Roos.
Runners on the corners, nobody out, and the Diamond Hoppers have an opportunity to blow this game wide open. Noah Marcoux comes to the plate. So RJ, I want to go back to what we were talking about before the break. You are, now I can at least have a little bit of sympathy for you being so spread out. So again, if you're just joining us, RJ, one of the 3 interns we're going to have on the air with us, heading over to second, Roos, so another stolen base for the Diamond Hoppers. That makes 4 on the day. Parents, both Penn State alum. Now, are they Michigan natives or are they transplants here to Michigan?
Mom's a Michigan native. Dad is from Buffalo.
So neither are from Pennsylvania. Got it. So they end up here. So were you a Penn State fan growing up, I'm assuming?
Diehard. That's why I thought I was going to go until about junior year of high school, when kind of reality set in a little bit more about choosing schools. But yeah, diehard Penn State fan. Still a fan as well.
So I'm assuming, obviously, you're probably all about the Badgers now, going to Madison and the University of Wisconsin, correct?
Yeah, on Wisconsin.
So I can sympathize a little bit. My father went to Ohio State.
Okay.
My grandfather went to Iowa, and my cousin went to Minnesota.
Wow.
So I am also a little spread out like you guys are, getting pulled in a lot of different directions. And then I was the only one decided to keep it somewhat close and went to Wayne State in Detroit. The 1-2 to Marcoux, wave and a miss as Barkman gets a much-needed strikeout after walking his first batter out of the bullpen. Runners on second and third, 1 away as Matt Gehrig comes to the plate. So you were a Penn State fan. What about Carter and Cooper? Were they Michigan State fans growing up?
All big Michigan. They were both big Michigan fans growing up.
So you were the lone Penn State fan going through the hallways at Groves.
Exactly. And I feel like it's always been like that growing up for me. I've never really been a fan of the Michigan teams, to be honest. Even in professional sports, I've always been that outsider fan.
The sun came out.
You know, the plot just keeps getting thicker, and I can appreciate that. Gehrig, an RBI chance here, the 0-1. Ground ball, fair down the third base line. That will score at least 1. Waved around third, heading home Roos, and it's a touchdown for the Beavers. 7-0. Eastside leads the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers.
Yeah, Gehrig picking up RBIs 9 and 10 on the season right there. That'll lead the team, and they're just making the hits. You mentioned snake bitten last inning. They're just making it even worse and worse.
Second hit of the day for Gehrig. A couple of RBIs to add to the line. And when it rains, it pours as the sunshine rears its head once again here at Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah, it's only the top of the 6th inning, but this game is slipping away from the Beavers fast, and the nail is close to being in the coffin.
Gehrig moves up to third on the wild pitch. Ben Ferguson, he hit the 3-run blast last time. So you mentioned you're working with the student radio station out in Madison. You're working with Big Ten Plus. What sports have you worked on out in Wisconsin, and which ones are you hoping to get a little more in on as your career progresses?
Unfortunately, we don't have a baseball team, so did a lot of softball this spring. The only Big Ten school not to have a baseball team, which is pretty disappointing. But did a lot of softball this spring, and then in the fall, I'm a big hockey guy growing up, so loved doing the hockey games when the opportunity presented itself, and then did a couple football games, and then some basketball games, and kind of all over the place. Did a couple soccer as well. Not a huge soccer guy, but if I could fill in and there was an opportunity, I was going to take it.
Real quick, heck of a play by Will Coxon. Ferguson, he grounds out but picks up his 5th RBI of the day. So he did the job bringing in Gehrig. There's 2 away with nobody on for Bryant Schellenbarger.
Yeah, Ferguson just got out there, but at the cost of a great play by Will Coxon at short. Normally a base hit there, but he won't be complaining with that RBI he just brought in.
No, called doing a job, and there are a lot of Diamond Hoppers ready to meet him at the top of that dugout. The 0-1 half-hearted hack from Schellenbarger, and it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Barkman brought that curveball in there. Fooled him.
0-2. Barkman. First pitcher today we've seen work out of the windup. Brings the glove over the head into the motion. The 0-2. Strike 3 called. Schellenbarger goes down on 3 straight pitches. The Diamond Hoppers add 3 more runs. 2 on the 2 RBI double from Gehrig and 1 from the ground out from Ben Ferguson. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 8-0 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL Network.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
So Pierce Banks, his day is done for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, but it was a strong performance. He goes 5 innings, doesn't allow an earned run, doesn't walk anyone, only gives up 5 hits. He scattered them throughout. Excellent performance from Pierce Banks, and it's Justin Silva coming in to replace him.
Yeah, Silva only pitched 1 inning so far on the season. Wasn't too kind to him. ERA is at 9 right now. He only has a 2-pitch arsenal. Will pitch that slider most of the time, a little over 50% of the time, and then bring that 4-seamer in on all the other pitches.
So Silva, he can come in and, well, throw without a lot of pressure. Hey, throw strikes. If you make a mistake, you still have a 7-run lead if the leadoff guy puts one over the fence. 8-0 Diamond Hoppers here in the bottom of the 6th, and well, it's just been all East Side all day long.
Yeah, and it seemed like early on they were kind of they were flooding the base paths a little bit, but not coming through. But finally, in this 5th and 6th inning, they've been coming through in all sorts of ways: base hits, home runs, and just showing their power. And we've seen it in the field as well. This is just such a well put together team.
Ray Hilbrich comes to the plate. Has one of the 5 Diamond Hopper hits, struck out swinging his last time. Silva primarily throws the slider, Does work the four seam in as well. In practice, in theory, he has a curveball in his arsenal. Has not thrown it yet this season.
Only pitched an inning, though.
And not a big sample size. Starts off with a couple of fastballs to the left-handed hitting Hilbrich.
Yeah, and you mentioned pitching without pressure. 8-run lead in his first outing. Let up a run in the one inning he pitched. But here he can kind of show his stuff a little bit more. I'm sure we'll see that curveball out of him as he's kind of just, you could say, just playing around out there, trying to put his name out there to the coaches, show that he can be a big part of this Hoppers team as a reliever.
3-0. Silva gets the sign, comes set, the kick and deal. Center cut, splits the plate. I don't think Hilbrich was swinging at anything there. That was right down Woodward. 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1. Fastball didn't find the plate. Didn't think that was a half bad pitch from Silva, but it's a leadoff walk for Hilbrich. The first walk by any Diamond Hopper pitcher as Christian Ortega comes to the plate.
Yeah, almost caught the outside corner there, but good eye by Hilbrich. He's gonna sit on first base to start this inning, and as you mentioned, just any run counts for the Beavers right now. Just looking to build up that confidence going into next weekend, even if this game's a little bit out of hand.
At-bats still count the same. Stats still count all the same, whether it's an 8-run game or a 1-run game.
And these guys, they're looking to get, they're looking for people to have eyes on them, looking for scouts, looking to get called up. So every at-bat, regardless of the score, matters.
Hilbrich off of first. The pitch, wave and a miss. Had Ortega out on the front foot. That slider starts in that same tunnel as the fastball and makes a nasty left turn. Ortega uses his timeout.
Hilbrich does have the most stolen bases on the season for a Beaver. He's got 2 of them, but no real big need to swipe a bag right now.
The 0-2. Breaking ball, that slider hit off the glove of Stevenson. I don't know if Hilbrich didn't see it well off the glove, but if he reads that right away, he probably could have been on second.
Yeah, he got a late jump off it. I don't think he realized it was a pass ball until he saw Stevenson kind of pop out of his crouch and go run for it. By that point, it was a little bit too late.
1-2. Silva set the pitch. Nice job by Ortega to lay off that slider. That starts off looking like it's coming right over the plate and ends up about 4 or 5 inches outside.
Yeah, it started off right on that outside corner, looked like a perfect pitch. But then, yeah, as you mentioned, ended up in that left-handed batter's box.
Silva set the 2-2. Swing and a line drive down the left field line. Hooks foul.
Ortega kind of just lunged at that, but got a good piece of it, sending it down that line. Another slider there from Silva.
Yeah, the timing wasn't great from Ortega, but he still found a barrel.
Yeah, and that's a big guy down there. He's got a lot of pop in that bat.
Silva kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball up high, and Silva records his first punch out in relief. Runner on first, 1 away for Malik Bolin.
A good pitch sequence there from Silva. It doesn't have the most to offer, only the slider, the 4-seamer, and then if we do see the curveball at some point this afternoon. But went a lot of sliders, went 3-4 sliders in a row, then kind of caught Ortega off guard there, went with the high heat.
Starts bowling off with the fastball. 0 for 2 today, reached on an error last time. Silva checks Hilbrich over at first, although with an 8-run lead, not too much of a priority. Slider away, 2-0 to Bolin. Off to a bit of a slow start, but he had a stretch last year where he was putting him over the fence at a fairly regular rate. And if you just try to put a fastball over, he'll spin to win. Missed inside the throw, the tag, didn't get Hilbrich. He steals his 3rd bag of the year and puts another Beaver in scoring position.
Yeah, not a half bad throw there either from Stevenson. Right on the money, but just a better job by Hilbrich with that slide, getting in there just in time for his 3rd stolen base of the season.
So when I talk about the Beavers being snake bitten, so far in the game, they have had 7 base runners. All 7 base runners have gotten into scoring position, and none have scored. Bolin takes ball 4. Runners on first and second. He's the 9th base runner of the day for the Beavers. E.J. Doskow to the plate, 0 for 2 today. 1 swinging, 1 looking punch out.
Two on, 1 out now. See if they can finally come through.
Double steal on the throw to third. Tag, no, too high on the tag. And the double steal works to perfection. A couple more stolen bases for Hilbrich. And Bolin, he has 2 on the day. He'll take the back end of the double steal is, well, that's basically a gimme.
Yeah, so easy steal there for Bolin, but getting Hilbrich a 3rd throw looked to be on time, but just a little high there from Stevenson.
Slider missed inside.
That slider looked like it's coming right for Doskow's head before it curves back inside.
The follow through from Silva looked a little off on that one. I don't know if his landing spot was a bit different. This didn't look like he was a little out of control on the follow through. Misses away, 2-1. 8-0 ball game. We are in the bottom of the 6th. The Beavers are trying to finally push across the first run. Oh, by the way, 9 for 9 getting runners into scoring position. Can they finally get one across? The 2-1. Wave and a miss. That slider evaded the bat.
Perfect pitch there from Silva. And yeah, Doskow still trying to get his feet under him in the early part of this season. Only batting 182, but that's a prime opportunity here for RBI's 3 and 4 of his season.
Silva set the 2-2. Swing and a miss. No balls put in play through 4 batters. It's been 2 walks, 2 punch outs, and it brings up Ray Torres.
Yeah, seeing a pitcher that uses their slider a little less than 60% of the time is a little odd, but you can kind of tell why. He loves that slider.
It's got some nasty break to it.
Got some great movement on it.
And I think one of the reasons why it's so successful is it looks like it's going to be a fastball for a while. It doesn't, right off the hand, it's going straight, and then takes that sharp left turn. Starts it off with a strike, throw down to third. Maddox wasn't expecting it. I don't know if Hilbrich realizes the ball was thrown to third.
He was just walking back with his back to the plate.
Well, Stevenson, he noticed it. I don't know if anyone else did. The 0-1, we'll have to wait a moment. I don't know if some sweat got in the eye of Silva.
He's got those sunglasses on or whatever, maybe they're prescription glasses.
So that will count as a disengagement. Sun shining. All the nasty clouds on the horizon have since vacated the area. Swing and a pop-up back out of play. 0-2.
Yeah, it turned out to be a perfect day here.
Excuse me, this is Stevanovic coming in as the pinch hitter for Torres.
Stevanovic normally plays catcher, but bringing him in as a pinch hitter today as Torres had those duties.
I imagine he'll finish the day off catching. Next pitch misses away, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners on second and third. It was a pair of walks to Hilbrich and Bolin.
Stevanovic got an opportunity here for his first RBIs on the season.
Silva looks in, gets the sign. Settles in the 1-2. Swing and a fly ball left center field, towering. Ruse coming over, battles the sun, and it hits off his glove. He did not see it, and that brings in the first couple of Beaver runs of the day.
Yeah, visibly got the ball stuck in the sun a little bit there with Zeb Bruce, and Beavers get their first 2 runs of the game. Seems like about time they caught a break, though.
Indeed it does, as the sun has not been out for the majority of this game, but Ruse was battling it in the worst way. You saw it coming over. He was trying to find it. I don't know if he saw the ball. I think he just got in the general vicinity, and it hit his glove. I think maybe to the surprise of Ruse, but the error drives in 2. Stevanovic on second as Peyton Schubert coming to the plate. See, now a bright sunny day.
Stevanovic coming in, cutting the lead to 6. Schubert now has a chance to make that 5.
It's a start. First pitch slider right over the plate for strike 1.
Works on any batter, righty or lefty.
Schubert today flied out to right, lined out to left. The 0-1. Fastball up high. 1-1.
Stevanovic doesn't have a stolen base attempt so far on the year, but you'd imagine that he'd be sent home on a single, especially because with 2 outs, he's going to be going right on contact.
Outfield playing pretty standard depth. Right field maybe a bit deeper than the rest. The 1-1. Slider doesn't find its way through the back door. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that one didn't bend as much as his other sliders. Didn't come back into the zone how I think he wanted it to.
8-2. Diamond Hoppers on top. Silva, first inning of relief. The 2-1. Count evens at 2-2. Placed that slider perfectly.
Schubert mad at himself there. He didn't swing at that pitch. Silva gave him a fastball right down the heart of the plate.
Silva set the 2-2. Check swing, no swing, and the count runs full. There is a little bit of action in that Hopper bullpen. Looks like it's Goodis warming up. The only lefty the Hoppers have. The 3-2, ball 4. Third walk of the inning.
Yeah, Silva having a little bit of command issues there. And so far in this inning, we've seen it from both sides. Been a lot of walks, but a lot of good plate discipline from these hitters.
Will Coxon comes to the plate, 2 for 2 today, a single and a double.
Yeah, in his last at-bat, he put one all the way to the wall. Made it a tough play for Ferguson.
Hitting under 200 coming into the day. This has to be a huge confidence boost. And a gap shot here, well, could get the Beavers back in the game. First pitch slider misses, ball 1. One and 0. Silva set. The pitch. Over for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That slider kind of hung up there for him, right down the middle, hung up there for Wilcoxon. Would have been a good time to pull the trigger there. Not so, though.
Silva comes set. Runners off of first and second. The pitch. Called strike. And Silva lost the sunglasses once again.
It's like the second or third time.
Yeah, he's not quite form-fitted. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 already home in the inning for the Beavers. 8-2 Diamond Hoppers. Silva. He looks in, settles the kick and deal. Fastball way outside. Easy take for Wilcoxon.
He really went back and put all into that one. He was looking for the radar gun there.
Silva settles in. The 2-2. Swing and a pop fly, shallow center field. Roos comes in, no problem seeing that one into the mitt. 2 runs coming to score on the error. Will Coxon flies out, and RJ, thank you so much for joining us. We'll bring in Cooper Schoenberg next. So we head to the top of the 7th. It's 8-2 Diamond Hoppers here on the USPBL Network. Back here on the USPBL Network, 8-2. Diamond Hoppers on top of the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers here on Princess Day. And Andrew Verbrugge takes the mound for the Beavers, trying to keep this one within arm's reach. RJ Carroll did a great job with us in the middle third. As we enter the latter third innings, we bring in Cooper Schoenberg. Cooper, I got another one of our interns. Thank you for joining us here.
Well, Brady, thank you for having me. And what a beautiful day it really turned out to be here at Jimmy John's Ballpark. Clouds are parting. Cloud farmers really doing their job, and I'm seeing some streaks of blue, and you really do love to see that on Princess Day here.
Yeah, it was very gloomy coming into the day, and it's turned out to be a pretty darn good day at the ballpark. Andrew Verbrugge this year, 6 innings, giving up about a hit an inning. He's struggled with the command. Also a strikeout an inning. This guy has elite stuff, and when he can find it and lock it in, you see why he's been around the USPBL for a while.
I mean, he loves his fastball. He's going to it 60%, curveball 34%. So let's see the heat that he's going to bring to try to keep his team in the game, as they just put up 2 runs in the last inning. But here come the Diamond Hoppers, hot this game.
Shire, Stevenson, Maddox, bottom third of the order due up for Eastside. First pitch fastball missed, maybe a hair high to Shire. 1 for 2 today, a single and a walk.
See anything? Cool. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Next pitch misses low, 2-0.
Shire 1 for 2 today with a stolen base, 3 on the season, batting .400, and he's hot. And let's see if he can keep that back going.
Problem for the Beavers as a whole, as a staff, 7 walks today, and it hasn't just been one pitcher. Everyone's chipped in a bit, and you couple that with the 8 Diamond Hopper hits, that's how you give up the 8 runs. And there's another 4-pitch walk on a 55-foot fastball.
We saw it with Maldonado in the 6th inning. 1 at-bat, 4 balls. He got the pull. And to start this inning, 4 straight balls. Gets a runner on first. Let's see if he can use those speedy legs of his to get yet another stolen base in this ball game.
Brings up Luke Stevenson. 0 for 2 today, walked last time. See how aggressive he is after the 4-pitch walk, or if he's going to wait and at least take a strike here. First pitch called strike. Went with the slider for it.
Great ball. And back-to-back 3-run innings for the Diamond Hoppers. First batter on first base. Let's see if they can keep it going with Stevenson.
The 0-1 in the dirt. Quick throw to first. The back pick does not work. Shire back in with the head first slide. 1-1. Stevenson waits for Brugge, comes set, works from the third base side of the rubber, the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, foul. Nearly tucked it inside that third base bag for extra bases. Instead, the count goes to 1-2.
And as we noted, Ranko coming in for Torres as he took over pinch hitting, now is the catcher and will finish out this game.
Not a move foreign to the Beavers skipper, John Diesel Dombrowski. He did the flip in a game earlier this year. Likes to give both catchers some work. The 1-2. Oh, that one's going to leave a mark on Stevenson. That's a fastball coming in at 88. And I don't think that one felt too kindly to Stevenson. Is a little perturbed as he heads down to first, and I don't blame him.
You can see a little grind to the teeth from Stevenson as that might welt up. Pretty cool battle wound for him.
Yeah.
Nice little story to tell, but runners on first and second early for the Diamond Hoppers. Let's see if they can keep it going.
And if the Beavers wanted any shot of getting back into this game, they need to put up, in all likelihood, a goose egg this inning. Keep it at, I mean, 6 runs is still a heck of a mountain to climb, but you just finally got on the board. You don't want to give those runs back instantaneously. First pitch called, strike to Todd Maddox. Looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3. For Brugge set, the pitch. Swing and a ground ball right side into the glove of Schubert. He bobbled it for a moment. Only play he had was to first. Maddox moves up the runners. Runners on second and third with 1 away as the lineup turns over for Blake Van Diver.
And a solid ground out there. But we talk about the control of the pitching for the Beavers. First run in the game for the Diamond Hoppers. Came off a wild pitch. You got a couple men walked here to start the inning. But just ease it in there. Get it nice so they can maybe put it in play. Let them make the mistakes and get a couple outs for your team.
1 for 3, Blake Van Diver. Looking for his first RBI of the game. Slider can't find the back door, 1-0.
And Van Diver starting off hot. It's 3:33 p.m. here, and he's batting 333, leading the league with 10 runs, and you really do love to see it.
And one of the many reasons why the Diamond Hoppers have had the success that they have had. I mean, you just look all up and down the lineup. It feels like if you're in the 200s right now, you're lagging behind in the Hoppers lineup. And another 8-piece today is, well, going to keep the trend going for the Hoppers. 2-1 to Blake Van Diver.
But it's a dangerous hitting team at the beginning of the lineup. Marcoux over 500. Zebrus hot today. And so it's really something special that they got going on.
2-1, jam shot over to second. Schubert's only play is to first, so no hit for Van Diver, but an RBI as a consolation prize, 9-2 Eastside.
If there weren't as many walks or wild pitches, then maybe you wouldn't see a runner on third waltzing right into home plate. But again, control, get the ball in play, and they get an easy out there. Unfortunately, it's going to cost them one.
Well, the line scores don't look too different. 8 hits for the Diamond Hoppers. They've actually committed 2 errors to 5 hits and no errors for the Beavers. The difference is, as a staff, the Diamond Hoppers have only walked 3, and those all came in the last inning when, surprise, 2 runs came across the score. For the Beavers, between walks and hit batters, they're up to 9. That's tough for any team to overcome. Ruse to the plate. 2 for 3 today. A double and a walk. Healthy hack at one inside. Comes up empty, 1-2.
But you got to respect that hack from Ruse. I mean, he's 2 for 3 with a double. Base on balls. And he's hot. He really is.
With the 7th inning stretch, I'm going to try to get to the path in between this half. Stop it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on third in the form of Luke Stevenson. The pitch misses away, counts full to the center field today for the Diamond Hoppers, Zeb Roos. It's a competition between him and Ferguson of who's been the player of the game so far. Verbrugge set, the 3-2 in the dirt, ball 4. Runners on the corners as Noah Marcoux comes to the plate.
And there it is, I believe his 4th time reaching that first base plate this game. 2 walks, a single, and a double. And we talk about the competition of player of the game, but Roos making a phenomenal throw to home plate, getting the runner out for the Beavers. Unfortunately, had a little bit of an error last inning.
Yeah, that one, I think the sun aided that error a bit, because I think the ball found his glove. I don't think the glove was going towards the ball.
No, definitely wasn't.
Marcoux watches ball 1 go by. Verbrugge looks in. Gets the sign. Set. The pitch. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marcoux, no hits today, but he's walked twice. Again, as a staff, the Beavers 10 free passes, and well, there's just no getting around it. Late swing from Marcoux, and the count goes to 1-2.
Marcoux, and I love the analogy that you make. It doesn't matter if it's your first at-bat of the season or your last, if you're 1 for 2 or 9 for 18 as he was coming into this game, but batting .500, strike 3.
Yeah, foul tip into the glove, and Verbrugge stops any additional damage from happening as Marcoux punches out. That takes us to our 7th inning stretch, sponsored by Genesis Credit Union. We'll be back at the bottom of the 7th here on the USPBL Network.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's, $5 off orders of 20 or more.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
He comes in, Goods takes over on the bump, and he replaces Silva, and he will inherit a 9-2 lead. Not a lot of pressure pitching again for any of these Diamond Hoppers. Their offense has done the bulk of the work. Brady Beaton alongside Cooper Schoenberg here in the bottom of the 7th. It's been all Diamond Hoppers all day long. Top of the order, Brandon Perez, Matt Pietrowski, and Ray Hilbrich coming to the plate. It's the lone lefty for the Diamond Hoppers. Goods on the mound.
Now, I'm going to be methodical here. It's Doral, Florida.
Doral, yes. We learned that earlier.
And a couple years ago, I actually played at the Trump Doral. Beautiful golf course, and I really did enjoy it.
Who would have thought that that little anecdote was going to come into play today?
Yeah, I look, that's kind of the beauty of this all, isn't it? Say something, love it. Brandon Perez.
Next pitch rolled over to second base. Van Diver, sidearm to first, and it's 1 up, 1 down. So I have to imagine the golf courses in Doral, Florida are pretty high end.
Beautiful. I mean, I played a couple here. You obviously have the Bluffs, which I haven't had the chance to get to yet. Treetops up north. But that beautiful Bermuda grass down in Florida really is something special. And it's something that I got to get more used to. Carter over here has a lot of experience with that down in Coral Gables.
So we know that we have Carter at Miami. We have RJ at the University of Wisconsin. Where is Cooper going to school?
Cooper goes to school at the University of Indiana. Go Hoosiers. Shout out to all the Hoosiers listening right now. But it's been great. I'm an upcoming junior, and it's just been a great experience, great time being in Bloomington, Indiana.
So how did you get to Bloomington, Indiana? That one, I mean, it's not too far. I guess Madison's not that far either. It's just a long drive going around the lake. But how did you end up in Bloomington?
No, only a 5-hour drive, and I knew a couple people there the year before me, so I felt like I had enough people there to be comfortable with going to the school. Knew that I would just have a good time, and I really did find the right people there, and it's just been it's been phenomenal.
So maybe the most standard of the three Birmingham interns we have. 1-2 to Pietrowski, misses in the dirt, 2-2. So what sports are you doing down there broadcasting-wise? How much are you getting into the Hoosier athletics? Obviously, basketball is king in Bloomington.
Now, if I want to look at my broadcasting career, here's a little anecdote. This is actually my first time ever calling a game.
Really?
So thank you, Brady, for being here and allowing me to do that.
Of course. I'm glad I can be a part of it. Pietrowski goes down swinging 2 away.
But it's great, exactly. And it's great to start here. But down there, I'm looking to start with the IU Sports TV and WIUX, the sports radio down there. And so something like this, and Carter mentioned it with the USPBL, it's just a great experience to give you great opportunities to learn and become multifaceted in this industry.
Yes, of course, and I am glad I can be a part of your first. Now we know RJ was a big hockey guy. Carter, baseball is well with him. What are the sports that, obviously a baseball fan, that's why you're here. What other sports do you find yourself watching or interested in?
You know, I'm a shorter guy, but I loved growing up playing the sport of basketball and still follow it.
Well, then you found a good college to go to in Indiana.
Storied program, Simon Hall down in Bloomington, and it's a little bit of a disappointing season this year, but a couple of transfers in the portal this year, and it's going to be a special year is what I'm projecting.
So now I know that you and Carter were big U of M guys. Have you had to drop your allegiance? Because at least with Carter down in Miami, that's far enough removed that you can get away with it. Hilbrich sends it foul down the left field line. But you're at a Big Ten school, so you really can't be flying enemy colors on campus. So have you had to drop that allegiance and go full Hoosiers?
You know, RJ talked about Wisconsin, and that's where he's at. And Carter's got Jimmy Johnson in the U.S. storied football program. Unfortunately, with me and the Hoosiers, not too much success there.
We'll put a quick pin in that as Hilbrich strikes out. It's 9-2 Diamond Hoppers. We head to the 8th. You're watching the USPBL Network.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic?
You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Top of the 8th inning, 9-2 Diamond Hoppers, and one of the unique rules here in the USPBL has been activated. The 2.5-hour rule has been put into play, so this 8th inning will act as the final frame. So no new inning will start after 2.5 hours, 9-2 Diamond Hoppers. So that means this essentially serves as the top of the 9th, and anything that the Diamond Hoppers can muster here would just be insurance for the bottom half of this frame.
Keeping it a little short and sweet, but really what the Diamond Hoppers are looking to do is adding a little bit of insult to injury. Already up 9-2, very comfortable, but Matt Garrett up to bat. And I remember seeing him coming up to the plate a couple weeks ago and actually hitting the very first home run of this USPBL season. So let's see if he can replicate it right now.
Garrick's had a nice day. He's 2 for 3, has a couple RBIs to his name, walked in an at-bat. As Andrew Verbrugge still on the bump for the Beavers. As I believe we're just waiting for all our between inning entertainment to find their way completely off the diamond.
I believe Princess left their crowd in the dugout.
Yes, we had some Princess musical chairs in between for those in attendance. First pitch to Garrett, called strike. 0-1.
And Matt Garrick, the Clifton, New Jersey native, got a couple buddies out there. Shout out to Livingston. But the big fella looking to go to work. 2 for 2 today.
Between the three of you guys, you have everything east of the Mississippi covered, it seems like.
Exactly. A lot of connections made at school.
It feels like everything but Michigan has Garrick. That one clipped the forearm. Don't think it caught him too flush. He reaches on the hit by pitch.
Now he's 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Really, that was a hit by pitch. A single and a double, so a great day for him as he's only batting around a 227, but that's going to surely go up after today's game.
Yeah, you need Iris up on 3 though.
Ben Ferguson comes to the plate. 5 RBIs on the day. First pitch called strike.
Now, Brady, each time that we've been up here, you've talked about the origin of me, of Carter, of RJ.
Yes.
And I know that you're a Wayne State alum, go Warriors, but something I want to talk about the origin of is this mustache that you're rocking, because it's something really special.
So, well, thank you. I grew it myself. Yeah, it was... Well, it was when all the lockdowns happened in 2020. Basically went, all right, well, I've never really tried to grow out my facial hair, saw what could happen, found out I can very much not grow a beard, I can grow a mustache. And then I had it for a month or two, thought nothing of it. Oh, Ben Ferguson's taking a moment. Looked like he
stretching the back a little bit, maybe
may have strained something. And in a game like this, I think Ryan Cockey's going to err on the side of caution. He has Whit Hughes and Martin in the back, and Cockey's going to have a conversation with Ferguson. But as they continue to talk, so when I had my mustache, I had it for a month or two and said, you know what, that was fun, and I shaved it off. Well, I met my now fiance a few months later, and she goes, well, what would you look like with a mustache? And I went, funny enough, you should ask that. I grew it for the first time here, and I showed her a picture, and she goes, do that again. So I didn't say no, and 4 years later, we still have it, and we're engaged now, and so I'd like to say the mustache did the bulk of the work. It does look like Ferguson is heading off the field. Again, not a lot of depth on any USPBL bench.
No, Ferguson.
We'll see if it's Hughes or Martin coming in. That is you never like to see that. Baseball is one of those games where just a slight injury can keep you out for a week or two.
You really don't like to see that, but what you do really like to see is a mustache story turning into a true American romantic as you are now engaged, and maybe it's because of that beautiful stash.
I think.
So congratulations.
Well, thank you. I was able to get her without the mustache first, but I think it's what kept her around. Bailey Martin, the pinch hitter, will take over the 1-2 count. Pitch misses outside, goes to puts Gehrig up to second. See, now you got me all off my game to have it. I was not expecting to have to talk about the mustache today.
It's something that should be duly noted because it really is even more magnificent up in person.
Well, thank you. Again, can't grow a beard, never have been able to. When I try, it looks like I'm a freshman in high school, just like, hey, I got something on the chin. That's all I can really muster. But the mustache comes through, so I do appreciate that. It was hard work maintaining it. 3-2. Strike 3 called, so Martin inherits a 1-2 count, and he picks up a strikeout. Runner on second with one away is Bryant Schellenbarger. Again, the 2.5-hour rule is put in effect. This 8th will be the final inning, and if the score holds, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers will add to their lead, 4-2 on the year. They also have a game suspended against these Beavers where they had a 5-run lead going into the 9th. So unless something crazy happens, these Diamond Hoppers could be looking at a 6-2 start.
Hot start, really hot start. And of course, the format of the playoffs is every team makes it 4 through 1. 4 plays 3, winner of that plays the 2, so on and so forth. So the beauty of this league to me is really anybody can make it, anybody can do it, and it really does keep it fun and interesting.
Well, last year the Utica Unicorns they struggled down the stretch. There was no other way to put it. The back half of their season was not solid. But then they put 3 magical games together and claimed their 5th USPBL championship.
And we talk about their 5 championships. And as the Beavers struggle on early this season, looking at a 1-4, a 1-5 record, they are the other sole proprietors of the 3 championships in the USPBL, winning 3 of the 8 total. So it really is anybody's chance to get a ring and win it all.
Schellenbarger grounds out to short as Jake Shire comes to the plate. As Verbrugge having a little bit of a smoother inning here in the 8th. Again, final inning of the day. Thank you so much for joining us, making us a part of your Sunday. Brady Beaton, Carter Lutz has been to my right, RJ Carroll's been to my right, now Cooper Schoenberg, 3 Birmingham natives that have sprawled across the country. So at least, Cooper, with you and RJ, Bloomington and Madison are not that far from each other. I'm assuming on certain Saturdays in the fall particularly, you make that road trip?
Definitely make the road trip with a couple buddies, and what a beautiful campus it is in Madison, right on Lake Mendota. Go up there, have a good time, see an old dear friend of mine, maybe even going up this year as Alabama and the Crimson Tide travel up to Madison, Wisconsin for an early 11 a.m. football game.
Yeah, that's right. You guys do cross over into Central Time, don't you? That does that throw you off at all? Are you a Central Time guy or do you like Eastern?
I'm an Eastern Time guy, always grown up an Eastern Time guy. My beautiful girlfriend back at home, she is stationed in Chicago right now, so she's a Central Time guy, girl. But you know, when it's FaceTime hour, it's a little confusing at points, but we make it work. And with me and RJ, we make it work as well, and that's what you love about friendship.
Shire gave it a ride, but Perez tracked it down in deep left center field. Beavers need 7 if they want to try to tie this game up. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 9-2 Diamond Hoppers here on
the Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a fifth third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Bottom of the 8th, 2.5-hour rule in effect, so this is the final inning here at Jimmy John's Field. The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers have to push across 7 runs if they want to force a sudden death overtime, or 8 runs would win it. A tall task to be sure. It's Ortega, Bolin, and Doskow due up as a unit. Those 9 are 1 of 8. As final game of this weekend, come back on Thursday, June 6th for the next public game. Will be ladies' night here at Jimmy John's Field, but this one has been the Hoppers' day as they put up 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in each of the 5th and the 6th, the tack-on run in the 7th. Just basically everyone's had a good day in a green uniform.
Exactly, but what you really do love about this beautiful sport we call America's pastime, baseball, is anything can happen. Teams rally, bats get on balls, and let's see if the Beavers can make a couple big plays here. 9-2, but never really out of it.
Well, it would take a couple base knocks at first just to build the pressure up a little bit. Don Goods comes back in, 2nd inning of relief. Ortega, 1 for 3 today, has struck out each of his last 2 at-bats. 1-0. Misses away, 2-0.
It can't be a team's favorite to, go down 9-2, or let's see if they lose 9-2, but to be the last team to bat, let's see if they can get some runs on the board and get some momentum going into next week, put up some runs, and feel good about themselves a little bit. Maybe even get the win. Let's make things interesting.
So the Beavers will take on the Unicorns in a non-public game on Tuesday here at Jimmy John's Field. So they won't have a lot of time to let this one stew up. They'll have to put it in the rear view mirror. And then on next weekend, it'll start that Thursday game I mentioned. The Diamond Hoppers will take on the Mammoths. And then the Diamond Hoppers on Friday will take on the Unicorns. And the only game in front of a crowd for the Beavers next week will be the 2 on Saturday against the Westside Woolly Mammoths before we finish up on Sunday as we run back the Diamond Hoppers and the Unicorns.
Ortega calling time as he threw his bat, anticipating a walk there, but
he thought it was ball 4.
Full count to his dismay.
Goods, a long look in. The 3-2. Swing and a drive, deep center field. Ruse goes back and he makes the catch at one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. That's a 390-some odd foot flyout.
Brutal. Just a little bit. I mean, that's the way it's been going all day for these Beavers. Little tough luck there, but a great crack of the bat. Gave it a good chance. Unfortunately, Ruse making big play after big play after big play today.
Now, Ferguson gave his home run a ride to deep right field. That one probably ended up 20-some feet over the fence. Very unscientific guesstimation. Let's call it 360, 370. That ball was 20, 30 feet farther than what Ferguson hit it, and all Ortega has to show for it is an F8 on the scoreboard. 1 hopper to Shire, turns, throws to first. Boland's out, and we're down to the final out of the game here in the 8th. Again, if you're just joining us, the 2.5-hour rule put into effect. No inning can start after we've eclipsed 2.5 hours, as I believe we have a pinch hitter here for the Beavers. Rafael Burgos will get a chance to keep this game alive. Swings at the first pitch, knocked down by Maddox. Throw to first, and Burgos pinch hits. He sees one, or he only sees one pitch, and he grounds out, and the Diamond Hoppers take this one 9-2. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap this up on the post-game show here on the USPBL Network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Here on the USPBL postgame show, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers win it 9-2. Again, the two standout performances from the Diamond Hoppers. Well, let's start on the mound, actually, where it was Pierce Banks who gave them 5 shutout innings, struck out 8, didn't walk anyone, scattered 5 hits, as the Diamond Hoppers really just were attacking all day long. And then at the plate, it was a combo meal of Zeb Roos and Ben Ferguson, among other Diamond Hoppers. And let's take a look right now at the standings after this game is official. Diamond Hoppers up top. They're 5-2 ahead of the 5-3 Utica Unicorns. And then you see the Mammoths and the Beavers struggling a bit at the bottom half of this 4-team league. And the Diamond Hoppers, again, have that 12-7 game suspended with the Beavers in the 9th inning. So the Diamond Hoppers could be 6-2, as this was just a very solid performance all around from everyone in green.
It really was, but Pierce Banks, what an absolute outing from the kid. 8 strikeouts, duly noted, but all throughout this broadcast, we talked about the wild pitches and the lack of control, especially on the Beaver side. But Pierce Banks kept his cool, calm composure, and in doing so, no earned runs through 5 innings, got the shutout for himself in a beautiful win for his Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Want to thank all 3 of our Birmingham interns, Carter Lutz, RJ Carroll, and Cooper Schoenberg, all for joining me on this broadcast. Excellent job by all of them. Next time up, we will be back here on Thursday, June 6th. It's 7:05 first pitch, as the Eastside Diamond Hoppers will look to continue their winning ways against the West Side Woolly Mammoths on ladies' night. For all of the interns from Birmingham, I've been Brady Beaton. Again, the Diamond Hoppers win it 9-2. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday.
Diamond Hoppers, ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline warming up the benches. Need a lesson? I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. 8, 5 ball, catch a frog, walk it out. 8, every time we score, I'm throwing up my diamond. Both hands in the air, same timing. Let's rock.